Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. This evening, Edgeworth discovers you know you've made it when there's an entire underground auction dedicated to your memorabilia. Thank you for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? Welcome! I'm excited for 2 days in a row of Ace Attorney. Hopefully this isn't gonna Edgeworth any of y'all out. I see Queen Katie was here first saying howdy, and then Oak saying hi Longa. How you doing, Queen Katie? How you doing, Oak? Queen Katie says knocks on wood. Nora's stream was being laggy, so I hope it won't be the same for yours. Oh, that doesn't bode well. But, we'll cross our fingers. We'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for the heads up on that. Let me know if it lags here on Twitch or over on YouTube. If there's anyone there watching, let me know if it lags there as well. Oak says, Lurk, streaming with Nora right now, Dong and Romp. Oh, I'm curious if you guys have made it to the third trial yet. Quick said, dang, Twitch keeps Thanosing my messages right before I send them. I feel like Thanos, obviously means snap, they disappear. I feel like Thanosing ought to be like if half the words disappear. Because wasn't that kind of his thing? But I'm sorry, Queen Katie. Lesbian Wolf says, hi. Yeah. I am reading DC Comics, so I'm probably gonna lurk. Well, thank you for the lurk, Lesbian Wolf. May I ask what DC Comics you're reading? I'm always curious about that. Crystal says Queen Katie and then says poof. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw on Discord, it sounds like Crystal's had kind of a rough go. I don't know if it was today or just recently or whatever, but make sure that you guys say some nice stuff to Crystal. Let her know that we all love her and that she's amazing. And Crystal, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us in the community. We're all here for you. You're awesome, Crystal. Okay, let's load up the game here, and then we'll play some more. If I remember correctly where we left off last night, I should hope I remember it correctly, since it was less than 24 hours ago. We were just starting to talk to Lotta Hart, who showed up here. I don't think we're doing a cross-examination. We're just like talking to her, though. There we go. There's a lot of heart. Quick says, yay, K abuse. Are we excited for K abuse? I feel like we should be a good doting father to K. Underground auction, lot of heart. Dirty deals in a secret room. Talk about a story. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Back when we first did Ace Attorney, the first one, I don't think Lotta Hart's voice had quite this twang. I blame, what was her name in Delta Room? Noelle? The reindeer? I think she was the one that we started making like this instead of just a regular respectable Southern accent. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room? Well, sure, there was regular old stuff too. Shady artworks from who knows where, that kind of thing. In what way are shady artworks regular, exactly? I don't know, maybe they were shady because they depicted someone going to the bathroom, but the person was going to the bathroom at the same time each day. Very, very regular. But the evidence was the big draw for sure. Reckon they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out of the cop and prosecutor shops. I'll bet you, oh wait, no, I'm doing K, that's not K, Emma's. I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Ms. Hart? Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to see what, wait, down below, that's in the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence's office. I had to try and see what I could find, what I could from up here. So they're all corrupt and they're selling evidence. I guess, okay, in the grand scheme of things, I suppose selling evidence is worse than not worse, is better than forging evidence. So we shouldn't be too hard on them, I guess. Oh, Doc! Doc said more Ace Attorney. Wow, I know. It's crazy. It makes me remember the old Danganronpa days when we only had like one game and I'd play like 4 or 5 streams a week of it. We got through games a lot faster that way. I mean, we still take as many hours, but we churn through the games much quicker. And how you doing, Doc? And then Queen Katie giving Crystal some little hearts. Make sure y'all give Crystal some hearts. She, A, deserves it, and B, as like I said, had a rough day today. Okay, let's keep going here. Having been up here since yesterday, I suppose you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then. Has she been up here the entire time? Did she bring snacks? Did she just like pee in a corner or something? It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. Oh, one at a time. Is that gonna be important, one at a time then? Threw on masks. Oh, that's why. Okay, because last time we're like, all these things are evidence, but then they have these random steel samurai masks, so they put those on. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a super secret underground. They're wearing masks and hoodies, but they're like superhero masks. I like this. Threw on masks just as soon as they got down the ladder. And that ain't all. Hang on. We need to establish, was this a ladder? Or was it a step ladder? They had voice changer doodads on them. Oh, this is really high-tech masks. Teeny tiny ones, dinkier than a bug's behind. Bugs do have dinky behinds. So that is probably true. Lesbian Wolf says, DC versus vampires is so cool. It's been a fun read, also super funny. Batman calls his floor the Bat Floor, as he should. I remember seeing a funny little comic one time where Batman was talking about, like, I can't remember if it was with a Batmobile or whatever, saying that his battery died. And then someone's like, what's an Uri? Your battery died. What's an Uri? I don't know. I laughed at that. I hope you're enjoying it. That's an Elseworlds one, right? You can always tell the DC Elseworlds ones because it's like, all right, what's an excuse so we can violently kill off all of our beloved heroes? So I feel like that's got to be what DC versus vampires is. Yeah? You gotta make sure that that if Magpie gets here tonight, the two of you can talk about DC Comics, Lesbian Wolf. So you couldn't see their real faces and you couldn't hear their real voices. Surreptitious as all heck. I feel like someone speaking like as much of a yokel as me shouldn't say surreptitious. I don't even know what surreptitious means. I've heard the word. I assume it tastes like maple. Oh, she spelled it wrong. She spelled it like syrup-titious. You mean surreptitious, right? How could you tell how she spelled her word verbally, Emma? Well, I surely do. Sweet surreptitude. Okay, Lottie, you got a chuckle out of me for that one. Also not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. I had to wait for the animation to play in my imagination before I could continue. And then in came the next one. So does C on those guys stand for criminal? When it came time to leave, they all done the same but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one. Okay, well, if this is Lotta's chance to redeem herself in my eyes. All she had to do, her entire job here, is to snap pictures of their faces before they put on the masks. I mean, that's obviously the thing you would do, right? Yeah? C stands for criminal, or crocodile, or carrot. Mask's back on the hook, up the ladder and away. I don't know how to animate him climbing up a ladder. It's top down.
Whoa, that's a serious operation.
Mask data jotted down by organizer. A selection of various masks was kept on a rack. Each participant in the auction wore one. Well, we should check out our Jammin' Ninja mask to see if it has a voice changer on it. Can we do that? Because sometimes it lets us like turn around and look at our evidence from different angles, and it doesn't. Boo. And how many participants were there? Okay, how many people are on the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence? It's got to be like 10 or 12 or 13 or something like that, right? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. So maybe that's what it is. Participants entered the storeroom one by one from the roof. They also left one by one through the storeroom and up to the roof. Bloop. Okay, gotta read some more in the chat. Let's see. Doc says, Lotta Heart. Hello. I'm Magpie. I was just mentioned you a minute ago. Magpie saying, "Caw, Magpie flying in. How we doing? I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Magpie?" Kim says, "Streamly check-in. Hydrate. Zzz. I'm sorry you're already asleep, Kim. I'll do that. I don't know why I like doing this. Whenever it's a new bottle, I like to tap it as if it's a carbonated beverage, and because it gives a little kind of a noise just from being airtight or whatever. Thank you very much, Kim." Doc says, "Superheroes and vampires kind of just reminds me of the Moon Knight or whatever page where he's like yelling at Dracula because he owes him money." I wish that was like a real unedited panel from the comic, but it's obviously like photoshopped like a lot of Moon Knight stuff, because isn't that one where he's like, "Where's my money, nerd?" or something like that? I love it. Oh, and Doc with a hydrate command. Okay, I'll hydrate twice. Thank you very much. That's why I probably shouldn't honor hydrates that aren't done with the command, because then you guys can like try and drown me. I know that's a thing that people do to streamers if they're mean. And Lesbian Wolf says, "Oh, it's so gory and very watch your favorites die. It's awesome." I'm that type of thing. I feel like when I was a kid, I'd probably like that a lot more than nowadays. I feel like it's played out a bit, because you see a lot of that. You see like Marvel Zombies, Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deceased, wasn't that another one where it's like DC zombies, basically, like DC versus vampires? As long as there's like more intrigue to it than that. I mean, to be honest, I feel like that's also how Injustice kind of was, where it's like, all right, because weren't the comics just all taking place in that alternate universe where Superman's evil? Although that also has, even though my favorite Robin is Tim Drake, it has the, quite possibly, I hate to say it, the dumbest Nightwing death I think I've ever seen. Have you seen this? He like trips and falls and his head hits a rock. Well, no, he doesn't just trip and fall. I think Damian throws like a stick at him and that makes him trip and he falls and hits his head on a rock. And boom! That's how, it's a weird thing. Like in comic book crossovers and events and things like that, because like you'll have a character will have his own story and be like, always surviving death, always surviving everything. Then it's crossover time and like the dumbest things just kill you. So sad. Anyway, I should stop nerding out about that, and I should read some more, play some more game, which is just reading. Your stakeout. I didn't just hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know. You didn't? Then where were you? Well, when I first got here, you know what? That ain't important right now. So, you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. That's a relief. I thought she was hiding something. We have to do like a cross-examination, or worse, oh crap, we still gotta do mind chesses. I don't think we've done any mind chess this entire chapter yet, and we're like 3 or 4 parts into it. Anywho, I watched all them folks come in for my spying spot down there in the shadows.
I see, so you were watching from behind the statue.
And let's see, that is, oh, you guys are right, it is an E. I think I didn't realize there was the serif on the bottom and assumed it looped around. So it is Emma Sky, her own personalized sticker. Do you guys have personalized stickers? I feel like I don't. I don't have my initials on any of my stuff. I probably ought to. So if somebody like tries to steal my stuff, they'll go, "Oh, it's not mine, it has initials, I better give it back." They used that there elevator to get down below. And once they was all down there, I snuck up and took me a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Oh, so they didn't send it back up. So that would suggest that they knew that they had gotten all the people they were gonna get? Is that what we're saying? No, they sent it back up, but there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Okay, that's what it is. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. Did you catch sight of who was in charge? All right, sure, I guess I did. I should read some more in the chat, though. Quick80 said, I feel like some poor dev translating the game saw Lotta and had a long sigh before figuring out what to do with her. Well, again, if she got pictures of the people with their masks off, she will finally be useful. Instead, it's just like another person to get in our way. Quickity says, add quote, C stands for criminal, or crocodile, or carrot. They're all the same thing. You know, you say potato, I say tomato. You say criminal, I say crocodile, other people say carrot. Doc said, that was a really good Emma sprite. Oh, which one? Was the one with the DS where the stuff printed on her glasses? Quickity said, don't worry, Logan. I have an entire channel in the spoiler chat for quotes. We post missed ones in there. I feel like I'm missing out on that. I wish I could see that. Thank you very much, Queen Katie. Magpie says, I'm good. Was it the battery joke you mentioned before? I think I just mentioned to Lesbian Wolf because she was going to read some DC comics that it's like, hey, you should talk to Magpie about that type of stuff. But yeah, I like the battery joke. It was, you know the one I'm talking about? I hope I told it right. Anyway, I should play some game. All right, sure, I guess I did. Ain't so good a story if you don't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader after all. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll have to ask her some more. You could have just kept going, Edgeworth. I am guessing it is going to be Excelsius Winner, but let's actually just ask her then. And she's probably gonna get all cagey, and then it'll turn out that she has a picture but the mask is on or something like that. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them? Because it's obviously, if Excelsius Winter is going to be the big bad, we're not going to catch him this chapter, right? Y'all should know I came here to get me an exclusive. And an exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already. I see. So you don't actually know anything then?
You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess.
I'm assuming that Edgeworth is bluffing, but just getting her to, like, fess up this way. Oh, you got me. Oh, darn it! Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old time or nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Well, sure, a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Them three things is what I remember. Okay, so that's the clothes that Rosie, the Riveter, the Ringer, Rosie Ringer, Ring Around the Rosies was wearing when she was dead. However, it was a man's jacket, so we don't know if that was actually her outfit and she's just a bit of an iconoclast, or if somebody planted that on her when she died. I don't know. What good's a description of the outfit if I don't got a clue who is wearing it? Oh, do we have to, like, present her Rosie's photo? Let's save just in case it makes us do that and in case I'm dumb. But it's gotta be that, right? I'll read a couple more comments to the chat, though. Queen Katie says, bat. Doc says, bat. Lesbian Wolf says, Superman is literally a dictator in Injustice. I know, isn't that the one also where it has the bit where Plastic Man is like sitting on your throne? It's like, when he calls him a dictator or something like that. It's like, he's not a dictator. He's like, he's literally sitting on a throne. Something like that. Lesbian Wolf says, Damien throws Dick's weapon and it kills him with it. It's so dumb. I know, he just like, oh, fall. And then like a rock, ka-chunk. So sad, so dumb. I feel if you survive like super villains beating the crap out of you all the time, you should be able to survive a rock. But that happens. Oh, did any of you guys ever read? There was a Marvel comic miniseries. Oh crap, what was it called? It was basically a riff on like those kind of battle royale death game type of things, where all these old Avenger Academy type of characters, like young teenage sidekicks and teenage legacy sort of characters. Arcane trapped them in like a murder world island or something like that. And he's like, all right, now you gotta all start like killing each other or something. And everybody's dying in like stupid ways. Like he erected a force field. One person had wings, like, I'll just fly out of here. Fly, 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 fly. Oops, hits it, neck snap, and dead. It's like, you should not be a superhero if you're capable of dying that easily. Let's see. Queen Katie says, crap, I just remembered something. Oh, Logan's gonna be mad. What? No, what am I gonna be mad about? I'm worried.
So this ringleader disguised their identity too, just like everybody else?
Oh, yes, sirree. Mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Is it Jammin' Ninja? Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh. That's not the Jammin' Ninja. And it looks like it was broken and glued together. It's got like cracks all over it. Have we seen this character before? Oh, yeah, this guy. Zervan. Queen Katie, do you have a name fact for Zervan? Zervan? What kind of a name is that? Okay, so it's clearly not a Steel Samurai character since Edgeworth doesn't know who it is. Unless a lot of heart is mispronouncing it.
Seriously, Mr. Edgeworth, you've never heard of Zervan? He's global hero Onya Capone's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervan? The Time Lord, that's right, they're ripping off Doctor Who. There's a lawsuit with the BBC already ongoing.
I think you might be better off asking who has. So, you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all?
No,
No, I dang well didn't, which kind of scratches my scoop. Sniffle, this whole mess has been nothing but a snipe hunt. I never should have come. Ringleader's appearance data jotted out in my organized. Ringleader wore a white jacket, white gloves, a magenta flower, and a mask. Age and gender could not be discerned. We know of somebody who is dressed like that. Maybe I should try showing that evidence to Ms. Hart. Okay, I know we presented it to her before, but maybe now she'll actually say something. Hey, Lotta Hart, check out a dead body. You said that the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why they was dressed up like a peacock on parade day, but they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Okay, now also, I was gonna say Lotta Hart would be able to see if there was a burn on her hand, but if the person was wearing gloves, she probably wouldn't be able to see. Well, holy smokes, it sure as heck is. But wait, so the big cheese is dead? All we know is that she is the victim of the case we are investigating.
her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her?
Nope, so the ringleader was a lady? Darn it. I was really attracted to the ringleader. Is this how I find out I'm gay? Or at least bisexual? Bisexual? Is that, I don't know the words. Well, ain't that just a slip and... Ain't just slippery in a dang heel, throwing me off with a man's jacket like that. I hardly think she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we've discovered something vital to the case. And what's important for me is reading the chat. Queen Katie said we're getting a mind chess. No, guess who? No, crap, it's gonna be Lotta Hart. I don't want a Lotta Hart mind chess. Because, you know, it'll be like Larry's mind chess, where it should be so dumb and easy, but it'll actually be difficult because we're in the second half of the game. Doc says, ugh. Magpie says, Injustice is like Game of Thrones, but if Ned Stark killed Cersei in book 1 and Jon Snow tripped on a rock and died immediately. Queekity said, I think I said the same thing too when I got to this part of the game. Actually, ugh, mind chess. Doc said, I've played this game and I still groan at the thought of it. Lotta Hart, you burn me. Good thing Nora isn't here yet, so we can badmouth Lotta Hart. Over on YouTube, Opinion is here. Say 2 days in a row. That's right, we rarely do the games back to back, which gives me a reminder. I need to remind you guys, tomorrow, we don't normally have a stream, but tomorrow we will have a special bonus stream playing Chained Together with my buddy Z Diggity. Looks like my other buddy Chief Asian may be joining us as well. Now, I'll make a reminder on Discord, but I do want to remind you guys early with tomorrow's Chained Together stream that will be a co-stream, and so as a result, I won't be able to spend as much time reading chat as normal, because it'd be very unfair to like the other people I'm co-streaming with if I'm like, all right, now he's got to like wait for like 20 minutes while I'm talking to people. So I won't be able to read as much chat, but I'd still love to have you guys there. I'll try and like check, and maybe I can like reduce the price of highlighted messages or something like that. We'll figure out a way to do this. But yes, and we're doing that tomorrow because Sunday is Mother's Day, so there'll be no stream on Sunday, so I hope that makes up for it. Let me read just a couple more quick comments here. Let's see. Lesbian Wolf says, also, Tim in this is so, he dies because he's too weak to be considered a vampire, and they give him the military buzz cut. That's gotta be because of the Arkham games, right? Because that's where they like buzzed his hair. I like it. He used to have big floofy hair. You ever look at any of his old comics from the 90s, especially ones by, oh crap, what's the artist's name? He did the miniseries like Robin 2, Joker's Wild. He died, I think a couple of years ago, but he would always have it just like be big and floofy and all over the place. That's what Tim's hair should be. Lesbian Wolf said, Lotta is one of these game characters. You just sigh when they show up. Now I feel bad because I think I may have screamed when she showed up as opposed to just sighing. Let's play a bit more. Namely, that the underground auction was chaired by none other than our victim. Might not have been. Might have just shared clothes with the victim. So somebody done bumped off the bowels, huh? And that's what was happening. What? When, I can't speak. When, what was happening? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Y'all just go about your business now. Crap, this is gonna be where we gotta mind chess her, isn't it?
No offense, Ms. Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious.
Suspicion my foot! I told y'all it's nothing! And you won't get nothing more out of me than that, not unless you beat me in chess in my brain in a way that doesn't really correspond to the actual rules of chess. Wait, so there is more? Well, how many dang times I gotta tell you? Ain't nothing, okay? And I ain't saying nothing either way.
You can tell us. You can tell us a little more? Pretty please?
Come on, look how sad Emma looks. Have a heart, Lotta. I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist, a nose hound, a scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. Tell you more? Heck, I done told you too much already.
Wait, what if I explain some fingerprints for you, pro bono?
What kind of cockamamie think he was that? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel? You go dig it up yourselves, just like I had to.
Okay, guess she isn't gonna talk to either of us.
Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. Excuse me. It may look like I'm zoning out, but I'm playing chess in my brain. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Mind chess! There we are. Bright screen. I gotta make sure I save before we actually get into this, though. Because we gotta save scum the crap out of this, because I have learned that I suck at mind chess. Who was it that I finally lost to? I had so many close calls, and then last case I lost to somebody. I can't remember if it was Larry or if it was Judy. Who was it? Or maybe it was Gusto. I'm gonna read a couple more quick comments in the chat. Doc said, already read that from Doc. Oh, no, I didn't. Says it was her sprite where she was like shocked and her hands were all up and stuff. Oh, that one with Emma. Quiggy said, Emma sprites are very good. Magpie said, I have not seen the Battery scene, but now I want to. I can't remember if it was even an actual comic or if it was like fan art or something, but it was funny. It was like Battery. In fact, I'm going to try and Google this real quick. I'm going to see if I can find it. Batman Battery joke. Oh darn, this is showing one where he's with Harley Quinn and he says, I call it a battery. I didn't think that was it. Maybe I mistold it. Oh no, there is a meme. So it was a meme first and it's just a picture of Robin saying, Batman, the Batmobile won't start. He says, check the battery. And he says, what's a turee? And then Batman is angry. So it looks like that the actual comics may have kind of ripped off the joke by having him have a battery called a battery. But yes, some more comments over on YouTube as well. Opinion says, customers. Toby says, don't make me open a portal to a different dimension and throw chess pieces at you. I know, this is so, like, what is this? Honestly, this whole technique that he's talking about in real life, like to an outside observer, is just that occasionally he sits there and doesn't say anything. And that's it. That's all this technique actually is. Anyway, I can't remember if I actually saved or not. So let's save again just to be sure. Because I can't risk this. I can't deal with this. Let me read a couple more comments because I'm gonna have to actually focus on this in a moment. Magpie says, to be honest, I actually really enjoy Injustice, but that's in part because I acknowledge that so much of it is stupid, quote, because we needed a story, end quote. And honestly, I kind of respect that silliness. Oh, I got no problem with silliness. I just think that if you look at it, you should be able to say that's the dumbest way for Nightwing to die and stuff like that. I did play the first Injustice game, and I thought it was pretty fun. Oak says, Katie Bat mentioned, oh, welcome back, Oak. Are you just popping in? Are you retreating back to Nora? Lesbian Wolf said, Alfred in this is the best of the best, quote, I think all of you would benefit from therapy, end quote. So true, King. I am still upset. Okay, before we get into mind chess, I am still very upset with what DC Comics has done to Alfred because apparently, I hope this isn't a spoiler for the last like 3 or 4 years of comics. So Tom King, who's one of my least favorite current DC writers, but a lot of people like him, so whatever, he did a storyline with Bane where Bane at one point, he like basically takes over Gotham and it's like, Batman, you can't come into the city. If you come into the city, I'm gonna murder Alfred, who I've taken hostage. And so Damian's like, well, I'm gonna rescue Alfred. Sneaks in, Bane sees him, snaps Alfred's neck and kills him, okay? And supposedly, like in the original pitch for it, that was supposed to be a fake out death because Bane, as bad as he is, like I really don't think he would kill Alfred. It felt very out of character for him. And so it's supposed to be a fake out death, but the editors in charge after were like, no, this is great, let's keep it, make him stay dead. And so Alfred has been dead for years now because of that. It's upsetting to me. Anyway, Queen Katie said, I was gonna ask how she couldn't tell if they were a kid by the height, but then I thought that maybe she'd be like an old man bending down, so it'd be sort of so it'd be short as a kid, so never mind. Well, also, as we have established, kids can stack on their shoulders and wear a trench coat. Then you can't tell. Indistinguishable from a human. I'm not from a human. Okay, kids are humans. I mean an adult human. I'm sorry, kids are humans. Mostly. Doc says, I do appreciate the art of these games. And Queekity said, same for real, for real. Lesbian Wolf says, so true. All right, let's play some game. Let's start by observing our opponent. Her. I ain't telling you nothing, you hear? Now quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. See, I got a rook, and then a bigger rook, and a queen. As we've seen, she's very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead wherever possible. I won't have much time to think. Oh crap, does that mean the timer's gonna go quicker? So I'll need to be swift and decisive. Ms. Hart is definitely hiding something from me, so my first move is to discover what that something is. Maid chess commands. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. I'd better try another tack. Okay, talk about this reasonably. I can see you're a little agitated, Ms. Hart. Let's just calm down. I am calm, dang you. Leastways I will be just as soon as y'all quit yanking my dang chain. I'm sorry, my brain accidentally read yanking as something else, something that rhymes with yanking. That's bad. That Edgeworth is not doing. What you would not do at all, not in public. I mean, maybe if like Phoenix Wright and the two, you know, anyway. You look very calm to me, I'll stop. You don't look very calm to me. Oh crap, it's probably too soon. You do realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? Crap, I'm doing so bad at this. Oh, quick ride me, will you? This whole thing's a waste of my precious time. I should have picked my words more wisely. That was a lot of hit points. I should probably just like right now reload because I have done very poorly so far. Let's do that. Let's reload here. Okay. We're just scumming our saves right off the bat. And let's see, Queekita said, I especially love this game in particular because the art upgrades so quickly between the first Miles game and this one. Well, and I'm really enjoying these HD sprites that they made. Queekita said, I feel like the CG art. Oh, what? Oh, I must have reloaded the wrong one. I'm sorry. Load. Oh, because it was trying to do the autosave. I don't want the autosave. Where were we? We're like in, what's that? What's that? Oh, Nora Raid with a party of 6. Wow. Welcome, Nora. I don't think we have any mods here at the moment, so I'll go ahead and do a shout out for you. Shout out at Nora. We'll check out the shout out clip and then I'll say hi to all y'all's raiders. Oh, Crystal did do a shout out, so you get a double shout out. You get 2 clips in a row. Hope you don't mind that you're getting extra plugs and things. Maybe it'll eventually show up. Hi, Raiders. How was Nora's Danganronpa? I've got fond attachment to Danganronpa. That's what we kind of built this stream on originally. Oh,
do I just walk through?
Omori!
Thank you, Ray.
Omori's another fun game.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes, welcome, Raiders. Pull up a chair.
I'm so anxious. I didn't look at it before bedtime.
Is Nora speaking English there? What was that? Was it, I don't think those were words. They were barely. Chie. Hi, Chie.
That's unusual.
Hi, Yosuke.
Yes, it is Yosuke. Thank you.
I miss the Scooby Gang. But yes, Raiders, my name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Currently alternating between this game, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, and Metaphor Refantazio. However, this Sunday is Mother's Day, so we're canceling that and instead adding a bonus stream tomorrow to play Chain together. Huh?
When I was captioning that clip for YouTube, I think I just put Nora noises or something.
There you go. That's what you do. I should probably do that more often with my captions. Just say Logan noise. And I finally today, oh my gosh, it was the longest. I took forever to edit this really, really long YouTube clip that I was doing for, crap, what was it even for? Oh yeah, it was a certain twist toward the end of Persona 3, so I won't say it because it's spoilers. It'll be going up, I think, next like Thursday or something like that. And as soon as it was done, I'm like, all right, now I can get ready for the stream. And I go back and watch it though, and I start catching like at least 2 different typos in the captions. Like, I gotta render the video again. But anyway, how was the stream? How's Danganronpa? Did you get to the 3rd trial? Hope you're enjoying it. BS Raiders. Also, I read every comment in chat, but I'm just always behind. So in fact, let me scroll down to the bottom of the chat and see if there's anybody new in your raid. I'm assuming it's like most of our friends. Yeah, I see Queen Katie, I see Oak, I see Tiff, I see a lot of people. Okay, so, yes, we're doing mind chess. I've been making bad decisions, so I already just went ahead and reloaded. Let me have a sip of water. Gonna read a couple comments, and we'll get back to this. Oh, an opinion over there says, oh, hi, Samson. Whenever I hear Samson, oh, because you were saying to Samson Tangaroa. The first Samson that always pops in my mind is Brock Samson from Venture Brothers. Any of you guys watch that? I'm so mad because they ended Venture Brothers with a movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like they finished the series. They canceled it, and they're like, but we'll finish the storyline with the movie. And Adult Swim aired it, and I watched TV through like Hulu Live stuff, and you could DVR stuff. So I DVR'd the movie, and then like later I went back to watch it, and it only recorded like the last 15 minutes for some reason. So I've still never seen how the series ends. So unfair. But anyway, yes, I'll read a couple more comments in the chat though. Doc says, yeah, it's Zervan. How could you forget Zervan? Doc says, ooh, the outfit goes crazy. Lesbian Wolf says, this reminds me that during the Phoenix Games, Miles calls him out for presenting random pieces of evidence to get others' reactions. Lol. Yeah, and then we do the same thing. Miles is a hypocrite. Doc says to Lesbian Wolf, literally such a call out from Edgeworth. Quick said, get a nap some wafers. Lesbian Wolf says, 3 in a row. Logan is spoiling us. Honestly, if I didn't have like other responsibilities and my voice need a rest, I'd give you guys even more streams, but then it would probably be too much if you guys would be like, stop it, Logan, I'm sick of hanging out here. Lesbian Wolf says, it's literally Arkham Games. Tim, he needs fluffy hair. He does. All right, I should probably play some game. So let's do that. Let's try this again. Let's start by observing our opponent. We already got this dialogue before. I should probably like change our save to right before we start here, so that if I have to scum again, I won't have to go through those bits of dialogue. Okay, so discover what that something is. Mind chess comments. Talk about this reasonably. I can see you're a little agitated, Miss Hart. Same dialogue as before. She's yelling. Saying it is calm. Okay, bide my time. We'll try that. Oh. Well, that's better. Being a news hound's all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you, see? Speaking of news hounds, this might interest you. I met one a few weeks ago. She was a very hungry young reporter indeed. Oh yeah! Tabby Lloyd. And she had a southern accent too. Do you think Lotta Hart is her boss? Is Tabby her sidekick protege? A reporter with very particular turn of phrase. Similar to your own, in fact. I wonder if it's maybe... How old is Lotta Hart? Could she have like a daughter? She doesn't look quite old enough to have like an adult daughter. Oh yeah? She spoke like me, huh? I guess it could have been someone I know. She was your apprentice. Her name is Tabby Lloyd.
Well, Nora, shameless plug if anyone is free tomorrow. During the day, I will be maybe doing Gartic. Phone around noon, central, more info to come soon also. I am Bave, Aiken, Felsen, Neo, Jiwo, Jeff, Jensos, and Fifth Bessian for Senes, Nobu, Fifo.
I was developing a theory before that all those weird keyboard slams that were screwing up our TTS might have been part of why we were having such bad lag that one time. Because remember, every time TTS went off, lag would be really bad. So did lag happen? We should pay attention to that. We don't need to test it anymore, but thank you, Nora, for the 50 bits. And Gartic Phone is a lot of fun. So you guys should definitely play that. I probably won't be able to. I've got stuff I need to do during the day tomorrow. But I do love some Gartic phone. So thank you very much for the beef along at TTS for the 50 bits. But all right, I feel like we're doing pretty good. Hopefully we didn't mess up this time. And if I had closed my eyes, then it almost seemed like nothing changed at all. And if you close your eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you.
Logan, cancel your plans. Play Gartic with us. Wolf for a neon Feege boo.
Please, if that does start lagging, please don't do that type of keyboard slam. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I need to be a responsible guy. I need to actually do things and be productive. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. I do appreciate that. But I hope you guys have fun. Tell you what, if I get done early with any of my stuff, I might try and pop in for a round or two. But no promises. I think it's very likely that I won't. But we'll see about that, okay? And if I had closed my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. She told me about somebody she called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so you met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where'd y'all bump into her? She's a great kid, reckon. Well, wait. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't getting on my good side bringing her into this, you sneaky snake. Oh, you nearly had me, too. Interesting. Talking about Miss Lloyd seemed to make her lower her guard a little. I think we can use that to our advantage. Tell me what you know. I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither. Time to deploy my clue. I know your apprentice pretty well. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? What are we gonna do, like threaten to Prosecutor for stuff? A, we're not a prosecutor anymore, and B, that's what bad guys do, Miles. After all, I know your apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact. Oh, yeah, well, I guess it does seem kind of cold to me to say that if you know her pretty good. I'm gonna save periodically. I'll stagger these saves, because I feel like we're doing pretty good in this round, but we haven't even knocked over any chess pieces yet. This is kind of stressing me out already. Wouldn't want the poor kid thinking I don't give a rat's behind. Good. Then you'll tell us what you know. Fine. See, it's like this. Get me a school. Wait! What am I thinking? Dang it, Lida! Can't let him bamboozle you that easy. What was that about a school? A school? Schoolulu? Oh, forget it. It was nothing. You were on your way to school, weren't you? We saved. Let's do it. Ha-ha! You realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? Oh, darn it. I thought he'd say stuff about school. Quit riding me, will you? This whole thing's wasting my precious time. Darn it. Well, I'm not going to take those. I was just having fun because I remembered to see on my saves. So, all right, we'll reload. Because obviously it's a scoop she was talking about, yeah? Over on YouTube, Opinion saying, doing things sucks, though. What thing? Well, it depends on the things, huh?
A scoo. WHT does scoo rhyme with? Goo.
Suddenly, skoo is scary. But then if skoo is boo, then school is bool? Thank you for the 10 bits, though, Oak, huh?
A scoo.
Ah!
Tear?
What?
With Edgeworth on it, perhaps?
Hey, Edgeworth Scooter! Edgeworth Scooter, we'll go back to this really quickly. Here's Edgeworth Scooter. Pew, 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 pew. For those who who aren't here for the pre-show stuff. Yeah. Thank you very much for the 10 bits, Tiff. How you doing? I think, did I say how you doing when you came with the raid? I hope so. I don't think I've even got to where the raid happened in the chat here. Let's see. Let me read a couple comments in the chat. Queekity said, nah, I think you were supposed to scream. She was in a literal jump scare, even to me when I knew she was in the case while I played. Miles rolls a D20 for this mine chest. What will he get? Said, I remember either the first or second mine chest of this game, you were nearly dead with like 1 hit point left on the timer. I think it was the second one, and yeah, that was close. Doc said, the timer is such a good health bar gimmick because it gets you so stressed.
That was me, not Oak. How dare you, boo, boo, boo.
Oh, I'm sorry. If it's scary, I assume it's Oak. I'm sorry, Nora. You were scared, but thank you for the 2 sets of 10 bits. Wow, you got lots of bits today, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the bits. And over on YouTube, Toby is saying she found a scooter. Hey, just like Tiff was saying. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna say it was a scoop, not school. But yeah, if I do scum my saves enough, maybe I can have like fun with the dialogue in these mine chests. Maybe then it won't be quite so stressful if I'm like, hey, I'm just seeing fun stuff. Oh, forget it, it was nothing. You have a scoop of some kind, don't you? Ah, music stop, we got it good. How embarrassing. A professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is! Oh, the smaller rook! All right, I got me a scoop, a big one. But I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all, huh?
I'm scarier. My one boo commands the presence of 1,000 boos from the peasant masses. Bow to me.
Bow
Or
to
should I
you?
say, boo to me.
Ah! What?
Boo.
Ah! What? Hey, Batmanon! Gifted a sub to Doc! Thank you so much, Batmanon! And thank you, Oak, for the 10 bits as well. Thank you, Batmanon. Thank you, both of you, for the generosity. But thank you, Batmanon! Doc, you once again have access to all the subscriber perks. I do need to add more subscriber perks. I did post like a little behind the scene things from a couple of Metaphor streams ago in the subscriber chat on Discord. The asset that we used for a certain character's special funeral. But I need more special stuff for you guys. But thank you so much, Batmanon! I really appreciate that. Oh, and some more comments over on YouTube as well. Oh, yeah, and Opinion was saying doing things sucks. So again, it depends on the things. I got to do responsible things tomorrow. And Toby was saying she found a scooter. And oh, and Burner says boo. Ah! Burner. Oh, is that Oak? Is that your account over there, Burner? It's a little Edgeworth icon. How you doing, Burner? I don't know if you're just joining in the boo to scare me, or if you're secretly Oak in disguise saying boo on YouTube as well. But if you're new, really quickly the schedule: Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sunday evenings, alternated between this and Metaphor Fantasio. But this Sunday's canceled. Ow! Sunday's canceled because of Mother's Day. So we're adding a bonus stream tomorrow to play Chain together with some friends. So hi. But yes, thank you, Nora, for the Tomcat. Okay, but yes, Burner. Also, I read every comment in chat. I'm sometimes behind. I'm much more behind over on Twitch than I am on YouTube, though. So you're probably lucky if you're over there. But now we got multiple Miles Edgeworth little profile picture icons over there on YouTube. Let me have a sip of water. We'll play some more, and then I'll read some more in the chat. Okay? But I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay. She may be hiding something very important. I have to get it out of her somehow. We need to know the details of this scoop. That was the sound of my HP meter replenishing. I am mighty and strong once more. She's quick to anger, but she's also quick to let key information slip. All right, let's save again, because we made it past the first third, I assume, based on the number of chess pieces of this mine chest, so that if we die, we don't have to go all the way back. Now that we know that, the rest shouldn't be too hard. Let's see what else we can get out of her. Related to the auction, related to the auction? This scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction? Oh, you know what? I clean forget. I forgot. But you tried to infiltrate an underground auction. It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing. Bide my time. Actually, if I am sculling my saves better, I should probably pay more attention to what the comments say, maybe. Except the last time I tried to do a funny thing, it didn't have anything to say. Anyway. Silent treatment, huh? Well, two can play that game. Okay. Maybe she doesn't like the biding time. Perhaps a more proactivity is called for.
I am Burner. Burner is Burner. Nora is Nora. Is Nora Burner? Is Burner Nora? No. Nora is Nora and no one else. Well, except for Nora. Boo.
Now I'm confused and also a little bit disappointed. I thought we made a new friend who is immediately like joining in the scaring Logan train. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Nora. I do appreciate that. And Burner, I don't know what you are anymore, but thank you for being here. Perhaps a little more proactivity is called for. Oh, okay, we're reloading. We're reloading. That's a lot of HP that we lose from just one tiny little mistake. I don't think, did we lose that many hit points in previous mine chests when we screw up? It seemed like a lot. Okay, so...
It's not me, I'm Nora.
Okay, so it's not Nora, so it is a new friend. Oh, and then over on YouTube, Burner says, I am the one who burns. Burner White. We were just talking about that the other night, that scene from Breaking Bad, I'm the one who knocks. So welcome, Burner White. And what's great is that no one can ever get your initials confused with Walt Whitman. So that's nice. Thank you, Burner. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's try this again. Relate to the auction. We tried that and we were getting somewhere. So we just have to make sure we don't bide our time. We gotta ask her something. You tried to infiltrate an underground auction. Only it stands to reason that you observed something otherwise. What would you have to write about? Come on, give me my options, game. Here's something from Miss Lloyd. Do you hear something from Miss Lloyd? You do realize you have knew it. Oh crap, that's the bad thing. That's when he has, okay, we're reloading again. I'm so bad at this. I am so bad at this. Wow, see, this is what I hate. Someone as dumb as lied. Well, I guess she lies a lot, so maybe she's good at lying. But Miles Edgeworth should not have this much trouble with a lot of heart, of all people. I'll read a couple of comments while we're getting back to where we were a moment ago. Related to the auction. Doc says, wait, if we transported her to a different chess dimension, did we kill Lotta Hart? Only in the subbed version, not in the dub, the 4Kids dub. Lesbian Wolf said, Batman has a bat bucket in his Batmobile. He offers Catwoman at some point. I love that kind of crap. One of my favorite 2 panels from a Batman comic, there was an issue written by Paul Dini where he was doing this bit with Riddler that I loved, where Riddler basically reformed and became a private investigator and was teaming up with Batman on something. And so Batman was having to give Riddler a ride somewhere, and there's just this awkward silence where the two of them are there, Batman's driving, Riddler's just sitting there, and he goes, so, nice car? First time I've been in it conscious. And it was just like so great, I loved it. Okay, did you hear the sound of something then? If you didn't hear the sound of nothing, does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room. Okay, we're making progress. We'll see that. Oh, it wasn't nothing really. Just little noises all. Okay, we made it past this first step. Let's save again. And once again, we're gonna keep staggering these saves. So let's put this one back up over this part. There we go. Okay, we're doing all right. We're doing okay. Can we get a set captions before we get into my chest? Well, it's better than mind chest. I guess, I don't know. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it. So something happened during the auction. Something that made a noise of some kind. This could be a valuable clue. Is it related to an incident of some kind? Your big scoop involved something criminal in nature, doesn't it? Man, might be it did, might be it didn't. Which is it? This is important. All right, all right. You don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing. Just snuck in, did some undercover reporting. Sneaking is a problem. You sneaking in is a problem. I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. An unlawful entry into private property is crap. This isn't helping. We're just accusing her of crime. Is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Hey, you did the exact same thing, genius. Oh, but I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? You're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not mention the fact that I handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it don't amount to a whole hill of beans, right? There's folks out there that have done way worse. Murder, for one. Well, next to murder, trespass ain't hardly nothing. You committed a murder. You committed a murder. Crap, I should have said before that. You do realize you have, oh crap, okay. I don't know why. Why do I play this game the way I am? I'm like, I don't want to lose this, and then I do stupid stuff like that. Huh? What? Huh?
Wouldn't it be crazy if Walter said I am the one who waltzed and walted all over the place?
Oh, that's the best part when it's It's Walton time. And then he waltz all over the place. Thank you very much for the 10 bits there, Oak. I appreciate it. Let me read a couple more comments to chat. I'm sorry that I suck at mind chess so much. Let's see. Magpie says, I like to think Batman has Batman print duct tape on him at all times. Please imagine him whipping out a roll of bat duct tape to help Scarecrow fix his leg brace in Arkham Knight. I just love the idea of figuring out the logistics of that, because I doubt he has, like, the tape producing machines in the Batcave. So that means he goes somewhere and has it printed. But maybe whoever it is that makes it just thinks like, this guy's a fan of Batman or Bats or something like that. I don't know. I'd love it if just like all the businesses that help him out, like, it's Bruce Wayne. He thinks none of us can tell he's Batman, huh?
Slash.
Slash, indeed. Thank you for the 10 bits, Nora, for the slash. I feel like once you get bits, you just like, you love to spend. I don't mind. Whoa, is that a boo? But thank you for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. Lesbian Wolf says, I need Alfred alive again. It's not fair. I agree. Magpie says, anyone who thinks Alfred should be dead is a fool. He should come back angry like Jason Todd, just because it'd be wild. Well, didn't he? He had like a supervillain alter ego one time in like old Silver Age comics or something like that. I think it was The Outsider or something. Doc said, this just in. Kids aren't human. It was a slip of the tongue. Over on YouTube, Valtube says, hi, how you doing, Valtube? Toby says, you committed a murder. I sentence you to 100 hours in the chess dimension. Indeed. Lesbian Wolf says he makes Damien hot cocoa with marshmallows and whipped cream. I know, but he also lets Damien get away with crap like bringing home a cow to the Bat Cave. Quickity says, ad quote, kids are human. Mostly. And Lesbian Wolf says, so true. Magpie says, I have many bat thoughts if anyone needs to talk about Batman things. And Queen K with the keyboard slam. There, I finally got to where Nora rated. Let me know if I need to like put on slow mode in the chat or something, because I don't know how far behind I am. We're almost an hour to stream, and I hope I'm not like an hour behind already. Okay. Well, see, that was nothing really. Just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it. So something happened during the auction. Something made a noise of some kind. This could be a valuable clue. Is it related to an incident of some kind? Okay, so we don't want to accuse her of murder, but we say that a murder happened. I wish that he had like special dialogue for when we say goofy stuff instead of just like, oh, no, I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing. Just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. Okay, okay, as we said before, it seemed to work. You sneaking in is a problem. Even though we're just like, shame on you. Oh, I ain't got no shame. Okay, and we will tell her that we turned in our badge. This time we're just gonna say that a murder happened. Which is true. It'd be really helpful if she was a witness to the actual murder happening. Murder for one. Next to murder, trespassing ain't hardly nothing. So your scoop is about a murder? From your muttering about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a homicide? Oh, no. No, I think whoever it was heterosexual. No, I was just talking all hypothetical like, you know, about murder being a big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than murder. Okay, I'm gonna save again, but we're once again gonna stagger because I feel like we're making progress in this. But in fact, I'm gonna really stagger these. We're gonna save so many saves, they're just gonna be taken up with mind chess. Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career. Look, I done told you, okay, I snuck into the auction. I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing and heard nothing. Scout's honor, like that. I wonder if maybe she thinks she accidentally killed the person. Maybe she thinks she pushed the person over the edge. Time to deploy my clue. But you did hear something, didn't you? It's a bishop. We learned on Discord that in some older cultures they were elephants and only could move 2 spaces but could jump. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been. Otherwise, why remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the cry of a murder victim. Ka-choo! Heck, how do you keep doing that? All right, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of a murder scene, but only by accident. And that's all you're getting out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise. The murder, Miss Hot Witness. Oh, sounds like we got to present evidence. So it's also just save again, just to be sure. Because it's most likely going to be Rosie Ringer. But the game likes to throw monkey wrenches at us. I gotta read some more in the chat. There, I got to where Nora had a raid. Oku say Nora's raid again. We hope her tears don't mess up your stream. Quiggy said, wow, time travel to case 2. Case 3, hey Nora. Tiff says, Nora, raid, we will stab you. Oak said, what happened while we were gone? We've just been stuck in this mine chest. That's all that's happened. Doc says, Nora! Crystal does a shout out. Thank you, Crystal. Nora said, I forgot you were playing Ace Attorney. Oh my gosh! Crystal says, oof. Queen Gator said, hey, Nora, we're doing mine chest with a lot of heart. Oak said, but she has nothing in her mind. Nora says, it was English. Tiff said she was speaking in Maya language. Nora says, Lotta within a heart. Nora said, no, not yet. Oak says, stream is pretty good. Nora said, we just found our detective girly. Oh, nice. How is she doing? Tiff said, nah, we just found Robo Justice in the locker. I do love the robot. Although that case has one of the two most infuriating moments of the entire game. I won't say what it is, because it'd be spoilers. But, it's awful. Over on YouTube, let's see. Valtube says they're making a new Ace Attorney musical. Nice. I hope the actor playing Gumshoe will inexplicably breakdance again. Okay, so here's the question, though. Because have they done any of these musicals that have involved, like, kind of the later, the second trilogy's characters, like Apollo and all of them? I hope it takes place during Dual Destinies. I want Fulbright to be in it. I would love Fulbright to be in a stage show. He's my favorite. Oak says, we haven't gotten to the third trial yet, but we have started interrogating some Robo-men. Oak says, unnamed character for spoilers had blueprints for his Transformers cosplay in his room. Oak says, Makoto was extra stupid today. Magpie says, wait, who was talking about Tim's hair? Because you're right, and I should say it. Why did they shear him? Give the boys floofy hair. I agree. Huh?
Big Magic Daddy, my bits are all gone now.
No.
Thank you for always bringing so much joy to us. Smile. We love you, Sir Olonga. I hope you know how much we all appreciate you.
For a second, I thought maybe there wouldn't be a boob. Thank you for the 10 bits. I forgot that when you run out, you get sincere. So thank you very much, Oak. Like the words are so kind. I really appreciate it. And I am trying to do better about just like taking sincere, kind words and not like deflecting them. So thank you so much. I hope you all know how much like joy and happiness you all bring me, because I honestly, I wouldn't keep coming back and doing this if it wasn't a great source of joy for me to be able to hang out with all of you. Because I certainly don't make nearly enough off of doing this to justify the amount of time I put into it as far as like money goes or anything like that. So just thank you all. Like, I love and appreciate all of you. So thank you for always being just an amazing community and a great source of fun and happiness and joy and support. You are all wonderful, and I hope you know that. Okay, the murder Ms. Hart witnessed. It must be the same murder we ourselves have been investigating. That should prove to be a very valuable piece of information indeed. Perhaps we should finish up by confirming the credibility of her claim. Okay, so got her hit points restored. So let's save again. I have her on the back foot now. Time to finish this by finishing her. I got a little bit of a pop. It wasn't very loud, but hopefully the microphone picked it up to show that I am tough. Girl. Okay, saving again here. We made it to the third one. Just one more chess piece to go. And next chapter, I'm sure, because that'll be the final chapter, somebody's gonna have like 4 or 5 chess pieces, huh? Tell me more about the incident. Some of you still not telling me. Were you really in the middle of the scene? Yeah, were you in the middle of it? You said you wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true? You're calling me a liar now? Oh, hey, now I'm mad, real mad. I'm the one who should be angry. Crap. You realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? I don't know how to, you know why I suck at this? Because I don't know how to talk to girls. That's why it is. It's not that I'm dumb. It's that I don't know how I'm supposed to talk to girls. Oh, you're really in the middle of the scene. I will say something else. I'll say stay mad. Stay mad. Go ahead, stay mad. You do realize you have... Oh, crap! No! I'm so bad at this. I wish there was like more logic to it. It's I feel like you gotta brute force it. There's very little rhyme and reason to any of these things. Really in the middle of a scene, and this time we're just gonna try staying quiet.
I'm not near out of bits, but bro. Illy bro. You're my bro for life. Browski. Broman. Brobo.
Brobo.
Brobo. We love you, man. You're one of my best friends. This isn't an exaggeration. We love you, man. We appreciate you so much. You have given me so many things in my life that I never would have gotten without you. You changed my life so significantly for the better, because honestly, last year and the year before sucked. Mentality was kaput for me. You make me happy all the time. Well, thank you guys. I do hope you guys realize like how much that you do for me.
that you guys like help make me so happy as well. Like, I can never thank you all enough. And thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you for the 10 bits, Nora. I really appreciate that. And y'all, maybe instead of Robros, we should have been Brobos or something. No, Brobos almost sounds like brothers who are homeless, like hobos or something. But either way, thank y'all, broskies. And thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the 10 bits. I really, really appreciate it. Let me read a couple more comments I see over on YouTube. ValTube says, it's a musical based on the first game. Aw. Okay, well, that's still a good one. Does that mean... Oh! Does that mean Penny Nichols is gonna be in it? I hope the actress they cast is cute. ValTube says, we also love you, Logan. I love all you guys. And yeah, everything I said applies to you guys on YouTube as well. Opinion says, you gotta read all the text instead of just panicking for the timer, dude. Probably. I'll try that. I'll try that in the next one, okay? I will take your advice, opinion. You're calling me a liar now? Hooey, now I'm mad, real mad. Bide my time. Because that one we already read all of them, yeah? I'm a journalist. How am I gonna sell stories if folks can't trust that I'm telling the truth? Got me a motto, you know. Faster than anybody, honester than anybody. A motto, huh? Ooh, that could be an important clue. I should bear it in mind. Okay, so let's save again. So we made some, oh, no, not load, save. So because we made some progress there. So save over this one up here. We'll just keep staggering over these 3 spots. Okay, so we got a clue. There's still something you're not telling me. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me. Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already. I don't have a clue. I know I got a clue. I better try another tack. Okay, tell me more about the incident. Huh, papa?
In those years everything was just play and I didn't like myself all that much. However, this community has given me so much. The people in this community see me for who I am and always say the best things. I get to like myself now. This community is such a major reason.
Such a major reason why. Logan, you're such an insanely important part of my life. Love you, man, for real. Brobo, my bestie. Thank you again for the 10 bits, and even more than the bits for the kind words there. I, like that one sentence there, I get to like myself now. You have no idea how much I relate to that. I kind of wish I didn't relate to it as much, but that is so nice of you to say. And honestly, the credit goes to this community. I don't know what I ever did to deserve the amazing people that we have in this community. You guys are all wonderful. You're spectacular. You're all just very caring and supportive and just amazing in every way. So thank you. Thank you for the 10 bits. And thank you to all of you. Like to every single one of you here. And thank you for the 10 bits. Again, I appreciate it. I'll read a couple comments in the chat because I'm getting behind. Oak says, boo, Lada. Doc said, this has inspired me to finally finish up AAI 2 in my own playthrough. I never ended up finishing Case 5. Doing that now. Good luck, Doc. Lesbian Wolf says, I was. Hi, I'm reading DC vs. Vampires. I gave him a buzz cut. Oak says to Doc, oh, dang. Magpie says, why do they do this to Tim? He deserves better. Stop shaving the DC boys. Let them have nice hair. I feel like ever since Grant Morrison came along, Tim has just been like the neglected child of all the Robins. I've said this before, I feel like every other Robin had like a natural evolution out of the Robin role before they got kind of graduated out of it. Like Dick became Nightwing, Jason died, but then eventually came back as Red Hood. Tim, he was still being Robin, and then Grant Morrison is like, I want to write my OC Damian Wayne in here. And I guess it wasn't entirely his OC because there was like that Son of the Demon storyline where it's like Talia and Bruce Wayne had a baby or whatever. But it's like, but then it's like, here's a new Robin. It's like, we already got a Robin. It's like, well, he's gone. He's gone. Make him a different thing. Make him Red Robin. That's a totally different thing. And give him a costume that somebody else has worn before in like Kingdom Come. There, totally unique identity. Not sloppy seconds from other characters. And it's like, poor Tim. Poor Tim. He's like my favorite DC character. Tim Drake in DC and Jubilee in Marvel are my 2 favorite characters. And there was apparently a 90s crossover, the 2 of them hooked up and smooched. Anyway, I need you to describe the murder in detail. It's vitally important. I wish I could help you, but I don't rightly recall a whole bunch. Ain't much I can tell you, sorry. I mean, look at me. Can't even get my facts straight half the time. Time to deploy my clue. I thought you were honester than everybody. I don't imagine that being so vague on the facts is a trait valued among journalists. Surely accuracy and honesty are what's necessary when reporting on a story. Oh, we'll see. It seems your so-called information is not credible after all. Oh, look, there was a murder. And it was there. I can even prove it, Grumble. All right, let's save again. Gotta keep staggering. I want to have to go back as little as possible if I have to reload. And I am going to try and continue to take opinions advice. And even though the timer is ticking down, I will take the time to actually read the things rather than panicking and just picking the first one I see. What are you grumbling about? You can prove it, can you? What are you grumbling about? You do realize you have nowhere to... crap! Even when I read them, I'm bad at this. I'm so bad at this. Oak said, Nora, how do you do that? Queen Katie said, I didn't even register. That was beef-long. I thought Logan was being silly. Nora said, how did I do what? Oak said, Nora cannot be trusted with money. Nora said, no, you don't. Nora says, yay, I'll BRB. Lesbian Wolf says, for real, Lisa, give us a boy is such a playful brotherly thing in DC versus vampires. Okay, so we say, you can prove it, can you? You can prove it, can you? How? Oh. Well, I got it right. Wait! You heard that? I was just talking to myself. Don't think nothing of it. She's still hiding something. This is a very vital clue. Okay, let's save again. Huh?
Like legitimately. Since I got back into your server, my happiness has boosted so insanely much. I met Hope, my sister for life. Genuinely a person I would not like to live without. She's so awesome. Kitty, I've gotten to yap about Ruby with
I've got a yap about Ruby, which actually got me back into the server. My fave and only Queen of Bats. She's legitimately the goat for real. Crystal, oh man, my best friend. She's a great person. Short, yes. Amazingly kind, yes. Introduced me to a great show. I introduced her. 1 out of 2. So apparently it's to be continued. And yes, you know, you say short as if that's bad. No, short. She's Crystal size. It's the perfect size for Crystal. But thank you so much for the 10 bits. And I'm glad to hear you like saying nice things to everybody, because as I said, it really is. All the credit for any good things goes to the community. Everybody in this community is phenomenal. So thank you for the 10 bits. Over on YouTube, Opinion says heart, and said the main 2 parts of Logic Chess is shut up when your opponent uses their angry sprite, and don't insult or get aggressive with them. I just wish at least if it was a funny insult that Edgeworth would say a funny. But thank you very much for the suggestion, Opinion. I feel like with Larry, though, a lot of it was just like, shut up all the time. But maybe I'm misremembering, because I did poorly on that one, too. This is a vital clue. I'll need to use it to maximum effect. Something you're still not telling me. I think that's what we didn't click before. Be honest, Miss Hart, I know there's something you're still not telling me. Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already. Time to deploy my clue. You're definitely still hiding something. Ah, there we are. I know you've been keeping something from me. And that something is proof related to the murder you witnessed. For some reason, I was imagining he's like commanding his chess piece like a Pokemon. Go, queen! Slay, queen! Proof sound enough to form the basis of a story you're hoping to sell. Cha! I've been murdered in the chess dimension. Dang it all to heck. Give me a break, will ya? I'll come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here, I done snap me a photo. Happy now? You better be. And that's checkmate. My chess complete, thank goodness. How long were we doing that? That was like a half hour, maybe even 45 minutes. Let's save now that is behind us. Ah, there we are. Finally out of that. Oak says, to Nora, given to hedonism, draw transformers with children on the internet. Nora says, I'm back. Oak, no, Oak didn't say that to Nora. Just said, it's to me, given to hedonism, draw transformers with children on the internet. Oh, to Gardic phone. Nora said, I'm back. Oak said that was very short. BRB. Queekit said, yes, Logan. Logan is learning and doing what I did the entire game. Save scum. Ooh.
to another awesome show. She's so awesome. Puzzles. My goat, my browski, they're always awesome. I love yapping with them about everything. Why aren't they here? Wendy. Miku Miku Ooey Ooh. The goat. FRFR.
FRFR. Okay, but this community has given me so much confidence and has actually helped me see myself in a good light, which I hadn't done in so long. I love each and every person here so dearly. And Logan, it's all you're doing. Thank you, Logan. Again, I can't take credit for the community, but I'll appreciate you offering the credit to me for it. But thank you so much for the 10 bits. And again, echoing on all of the people that you mentioned. And yes, I assume Vera was probably sleeping. Time zones are probably a nightmare on Vera's sleep schedule, but I hope we'll get to see Vera a little bit later. And yes, and like I said, everybody else, Vero and Wendy and Crystal and Quikady and Oak and everybody there, all of you, even those that Nora didn't mention, y'all are amazing. Love and appreciate you all. And thank you for the 10 bits, Nora. Once we get some background music, I'll read some more in the chat. Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth. There is the background music. Let's see. Quikady said, cause really, I like Mind Chess. I love it, but I hate it. I think I'd enjoy it more if it didn't have the timer on it. It'd be a bit less challenging, but it'd be a bit more fun, I think. Doc says, a scoo, ... Magpie says, to Lesbian Wolf, sadly, they don't get that treatment in the Arkham games, in which the brothers never interact in spite of existing in the same game. Oak says, yeah, Edgeworth quit riding Lotta and started riding Phoenix. Nora says, Oak, pardon. Oak says, wrong child. Oak says, Nora cannot be trusted with bits. Nora said, I'm irresponsible with my money. There is a gifted sub to Doc. Thank you again, Batman on. Oak, Doc says, what? Batman? Nora says, Batman. Oak says, Batman on. Oak says, no, I am not Burner on YouTube. I am Oakdole on YouTube. And Doc said, do you guys think Edgeworth drinks his milk and has strong bones? I think so. I think he's a good boy. I think he drinks and then always wipes the milk mustache off. Let's see. Over on YouTube, Opinion says, oh yeah, not having unique fail lines sucks so much that cannot have been too hard to implement. Come on, Capcom. It probably doesn't help that this is probably the most nothing Mind Chess ever. This only exists because they needed to per cases and didn't know where else to put it. Sounds about right. But I guess a lot of Heart fans out there, both of them must have appreciated it. Let's see. Well, it's Edgeworth. Well, it happened, so it's time to tell us everything. I mean, to be fair, even if it happened, she could still say, it's like, no, I just decided I'm not going to tell you. I saw the whole thing. Watch that auction from start to finish. I hope she's not going to say that she saw... Oh, wait, was that a picture snapping? I hope she's not going to say that she saw Cade doing the murder.
But you didn't just watch, right? You took pictures too.
Oh, yeah, about that. So, like I said, I was spying on the whole thing right from the get-go. They was all shouting out bids, and somebody'd win some, and bam, down comes the hammer. That's right, because auctions use a gavel. Like a judge. Like a Judge Gavel. 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 Hugh O'Connor. Head on upstairs and pay, shouts the old ringleader, and then the whole thing starts over again. Anyhow, as soon as that happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind that there statue and hid. And who was it that eventually appeared? I didn't see nothing, but I heard something that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed the winning bid. The sweet, sweet sound of cold hard cash. I wonder if we can check the money for fingerprints. I mean, surely if they're all wearing masks, they'd be smart enough to wear gloves. I'm not sure I have any idea what that sounds like. The sound of someone counting bills, perhaps. Anyhow, the deal was you settled your bills up here. I heard two people yabbering for a little while. Wait, so two people came up the elevator? Well, you betcha. My guess is the other one was our friend, the ringleader. Anyway, yabber, yabber, yabber. On it goes for a little while, then, oh, scream. Well, that shook me up pretty good, so I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight. So you didn't see the moment of the murder? Oh, no, but I heard it real good.
You didn't try to help whoever was being attacked?
Well, quit trying to be funny, girlie. It don't suit you none. I'm just a dainty little journalist. Oh, on her lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in and save the day? Dainty? Anyhow, then there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right about when that was happening, I got feeling pretty bad about what I'd done.
That makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't.
I didn't remember to get out my camera and snap even a single picture. Oh.
I thought you felt bad that you didn't help someone, that someone is dead because of you. That a unique human being who had never existed before and never will exist again on this planet Earth was snuffed out prematurely.
Scoop like that drops right in my lap and I miss it. Somebody ought to tan my hide. I mean, well, Franziska were here. I'm sure she could tan your hide. Then again, Franziska seems nicer to female characters. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyhow, then a little more time goes by, and there's this kind of clattering noise. I'm there thinking, gotta get the shot this time, and so I grab one real quick from the shadows there. Could we see this photograph? Oh, do I have to sigh here? Ah, red hoodie person! That's... And the naked mannequin from before. I gotta read some more in the chat, though. Oak says, Logan, what is your favorite non-domesticated animal? This way Pepper doesn't count. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I always liked tigers. Mainly because, like, my prized possession is a stuffed tiger. So probably tigers, I guess. Why? Oak says, I want your favorite weird guy. I think I've mentioned that before, but yeah, why do you want to know? Oak said, Burner should stop doing that to houses. Doc said, save scumming aplenty. Oak says, what if Hank confuses BW for Betty White? Yes, in the Burner White universe, there needs to be a, Gail Bedecker gifts him a Betty White autobiography. Nora says, yes. Oak said, Burner White will get away with her crimes because of Betty White. Oak said, I'm surprised Katie hasn't said Betty with a heart. Oh, we're talking about Betty to fame. Doc says, I think the hardest mind chest for me is the one that happens next case, but to be honest, they're all hard. Quickie said, Betty Hart, I was working on reverse 1999 farming. Nora said, he didn't yell. Lesbian Wolf said, Bat Cow is a staple of the Bat family. How dare you joke? I do think it's funny that, because doesn't the Bat Cow have like a pattern that looks like a bat on its face? But generally speaking, I hate to say, I'm a bit predisposed against characters, including animals, who were drawn by, who was it that drew those Batman and Robin issues where everybody looked lumpy? It wasn't the Frank Quietly ones. It was like Mark Cunningham or something like that. It was so unpleasant to me. Anyway, we'll be back to the game. Gonna have a sip of water because we're almost to the halfway point of the stream.
The person in the red raincoat, the one who attacked Kay.
So, Kay's raincoated assailant also attacked the victim here in the storeroom. Then proceeded up to the roof where they assaulted Kay. Miss Hart's picture data jotted down in my organizer. A photograph of the mysterious figure in the red raincoat. Well, we don't know if this is the same person that attacked because she heard an attack and then time passed and this person went up, so it could be somebody else, but who knows? Oh, do you see that though? When the window, the bubble, the speech was gone. There was blood on the person's hand. Look at that. See, there's blood. Or ketchup. Or red paint. Or maybe lipstick. Maybe this person was making out with somebody with lipstick all over his face, and then afterwards like, oh, I gotta wipe that off. And then got lipstick all over yon hand, yon palm. There's only one person in this picture. Where is the victim? Weird, huh? Wondered the same thing. Heard two people, but there was only one in the shot I got. I didn't see nobody nowhere else in the room neither. Well, there's the walkie-talkie that was over on the table. It was probably that. Although, to be fair, I was gonna say you'd be able to tell if a voice was like digitized over walkie-talkie, but if they all had voice changers in their masks, maybe it'd be more difficult to differentiate. Well, that's the killer, all right. At least ways I'm pretty sure it is. So, are we saying the victim disappeared? Disappearing victim. It's possible the murder happened in the storeroom during the auction. Bloop. How did you know it was the killer just by looking? Well, because they're literally red-handed with blood. How else would that get there, huh?
And the auction just carried on after that?
Oh! But that means if the person had fresh blood on his or her hand, if you climb up the ladder, even if you wipe it down, luminol solution for Emma ought to be able to pick up traces of blood. And I was gonna say maybe a handprint, but if you wipe it down, they'd probably get rid of that. But we'd at least be able to see, maybe test for whose blood it was. But it's probably just gonna be Rosie Ringer though, right? Because I don't know. Well, to be fair, I keep saying to be fair. Kay has like a lot of bandages. Maybe she got an injury that bled somewhere, so it could be her blood.
And the auction just carried on after that?
Well, sure did. They just went right along like nothing had happened. Rich folks is crazier than a box of frogs. And trust me, ain't nothing crazier than a box of frogs. I put many kinds of animals in boxes together and nothing is crazy as a box of frogs. I'll never understand how they think. Although, you know, I do feel like frogs are kind of crazy. I've seen so many videos where people have like a frog and they're like, let's feed this frog. And they like hold out a fly or something on tweezers. And the frog will look at it and look at the person, the human being, and it'll attack the person. It's like, frogs are dumb. It's like, there's food. And the frog's like, no, I'm gonna eat that thing. I'm gonna eat that giant thing. I'm gonna do that, I totally can. Funny, I find journalists a struggle to understand as well. Ms. Hart's statement data jotted out by organizer. Ms. Hart's observations about what happened during the mysterious auction. Oh, and we're done with all that. Wow, that took a long time. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Let's save and I'll read a couple of comments in the chat while we figure out what we're doing. I assume we gotta put some puzzle pieces, or as we call them in this chat, Vero pieces together in our brain. Oak says, we forgive you, Logan. Oak says, probably. It says, gay Logan. Again, I don't know if it abbreviated like that, if that's allowed for me to say. Doc says, I mean, part of it is figuring out when you should try to press them based on either their sprites or their words. There's definitely some reason to it. I believe in you, Mr. Robo. Believe in me was your mistake there. Nora with some hearts. Oak with some emos. Crystal says, I'm growing. Are you drinking your milk? Have you gained a half an inch? Have you gained a half an inch? Have you gained that half of an inch? Lesbian Wolf said, Dick just makes Damien Robin and now he doesn't want to be Robin. I think, okay, there's a hot take, a hot DC Batman take. I think Damien should stop being Robin, should get his own unique superhero identity, and he should become Nightwing's sidekick. Because I feel like they have a good dynamic. Batman, who's dark and brooding, doesn't need a Robin who's dark and brooding. Nightwing, who's like cheerful and fun, could use a sidekick who's dark and brooding. Although I will say, I do like that Damien has a girlfriend now. She's nice. What's her name? Flatline, who's Lord Deathman's sidekick. He's like the bad guy from the Batman manga. Crystal says, 2. Oak says, I miss Gumshoe already because I haven't seen him in the stream. Crystal says, Superboy. Superboy is cool. I like some Connor Kent Superboy. I like him. Oak says, Crystal, are you 4'11" or something now? Oh, no. Said your expectations reasonable. She's still nowhere near 4'11". That's way too tall. Okay, so let's figure out what we're doing. Can we talk to... Oh, yeah, he's gonna follow me around. See, look at this, though. At least when Emma follows, her badge doesn't switch sides. Anything else to say? No, okay. You got anything, Fender? Anything, Fender Bender? You got anything? You got anything there? Anything new? Talk to you. Can I present the new piece of evidence we just got? I hope I been of help to you so far. I got new evidence, Goyle. Let's present Ms. Hart's statement. Sorry, don't remember you well enough to accept a gift like that just yet. Okay, that's what she says when there's nothing to say. Magpie says, Red Robin was so dumb and the headwear was terrible. What's this? Hang on. I'll be right back to that, Magpie. That's the person who pushed me. You still don't remember the face? Well, he's probably wearing a mask, right? No, but the raincoat, it was, well, I'm sure it was. At least, I think I'm sure. Maybe? Which is it, Kay? Are you sure or are you not? I don't know. When you look at me like that, my mind just goes blank. This is why we need Eddie Crazy Fender over there to tell Edgeworth to be nicer to his daughter. Never mind me. What about the person in the picture? I don't know. The raincoat is all I'm sure of. Which means that Kay can't be the murderer. I just have to find more evidence to support my case. And this, nothing to say, and then we'll show the masks, and then I think everything else we've already shown her before, right? Yeah, we have. Yeah, Magpie was saying Red Robin was so dumb and the headwear was terrible. I miss a weird feather-shaped cape he had for like 5 minutes. He looked good in that run, even though the cape design was too... Well, he went through so many costumes. Although, here's the thing. As bad as Red Robin was, nothing for Tim Drake was worse than the superhero identity he had for all of about 3 or 4 issues when they let Bendis do a Young Justice reboot. And Tim Drake is like, hey, I know what my new identity is going to be. Tim Drake, will be called Drake. Because that's kind of like a dragon or a bird kind of a monster thing. I'll be Drake. That's right. And I'll suggest Bruce Wayne become Wayne. It's like, why? Clark Kent can become Kent. It's the worst. It's the worst. Oh, and Oak with the hydrate command. Thank you very much, Oak. I will do that right now. Let's see. Over on YouTube, Opinion saying, no, Lada's right about this one, Edgy. Yeah, you know what they say, broken clocks twice a day and all that good stuff. Okay, so I think we'll save again, just be sure, and let's start putting some Vero pieces together in our brain. Yay. Let's see, and Lesbian Wolf saying, the Red Robin cowl made me laugh so much when I first saw it. To be fair, they had, oh crap, what's the name of the artist who worked on that? Like, the artist on the Red Robin series was phenomenal. I wish I could afford like a commission from him. He's so good. So we got, oh man, which pieces do we put together? Auction entry and exit. Participants entered the storeroom one by one from the roof. They also left one by one through the storeroom and up to the roof. It's possible the murder happened in the storeroom during the auction. Okay, so let's put these two together. Oh! If the storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, then you'd expect the body to have been up here at some point as well.
Well, yeah.
Are we gonna say the body was transported downstairs via the elevator? But think back to what Miss Hart told us about how the customers left the auction, do you remember?
Of course, they came up from downstairs, back through the storeroom, and... Oh!
Exactly. The killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. The question is, where did they hide it? Hidden body. The body was hidden, so auction participants who were leaving wouldn't spot it. Oh, man. Oh, and we immediately transport over to a large empty box. Oh, I wonder where the body was hidden. Where could it be? If only there was something body-sized and box-shaped. Emma, if you wouldn't mind putting your skills to work for me now.
I'd love to. Just say what you need and I'll get right on it.
Hang on, I gotta breathe for a second. Oh, we're an hour and a half in a stream and I don't think I paused to breathe once. I'm running out of oxygen. Very well. Then I'd like you to check for blood residue. A luminol test, in other words.
Sure thing. Prepare to witness the power of science.
I've never seen somebody's eyes actually sparkle with anticipation before. That's sad. I would have thought at least once that Phoenix's eyes would sparkle with anticipation when the two of them cross-examine each other. What?
Hey, loser.
Clam! How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for the 10 bits, Clam. By the way, Clam, really quick question. A week from tomorrow, next Saturday, after that, are we back to doing improv again that day? I was checking the schedule a while ago and I think so. Do I need to turn in my availability to you? I don't know if you've asked for it yet, but I think, are we back on that day? But Clam, how you doing? Hopefully you're not tired of hearing this, but how's little Henry? I'm gonna read a couple more comments in the chat because I am so far behind. Magpie says, yes, I like the chess mechanic in theory, but in practice it doesn't actually do anything it says it will. Like, it should be about spotting tells almost, but it doesn't actually have skill, just guesswork.
As far as I'm aware, yes, improv on that Saturday.
Okay, so I'll make sure to keep that Saturday open. I just wanted to be sure, but thank you very much, Clan, for the 10 bits. I appreciate it. Oh, and over on YouTube, Miguel Ramirez is here saying, Emma Sky, my beloved. For some reason, at first I misread that as my Skype, my beloved, which I guess, I don't know, you guys heard Skype is gone? It I guess it couldn't keep up with like Zoom and Discord. But good to see you. How you doing, Miguel? Welcome. Hang on, I got a cough. I hope I get rid of this lingering cough soon. Quiggy says, aw, shucks. Oak says, Nora spends all her money to compliment everyone. Doc says, compliments and poverty. Chris says, aw, Nora, you make me ... Splish! And then Buggett's command, Oak said Buggett should be put in the museum. And Magpie says, quote, I have been murdered in the chest dimension is my new isekai manga title. Oh, please. Please do. I love it. I love it. Okay.
All right, how about we test the ladder over there first?
Okay, that's actually what I was gonna do, because I said before, if the person had blood on his or her hand, there ought to be a luminol reaction on the side of the ladder from climbing up, or on the rungs, depending if you climb this way or this way. Depending how you do it. If you do it this way, or you do it this way. Don't do it this way. That looks really bad. Pretend we're all doing it this way now.
Based on Ms. Hart's picture, I'd say the person in the red raincoat was about to climb it and make their escape. Which means there's a high chance of a positive result. To test an area, press space. That'll spray, there's a little luminol on it, but this is expensive, so please don't waste it. Please don't waste my luminol. Don't waste it. See, and if it happens to land on some blood, you'll see it react like this. Oh, it still feels super raw to see it just appear like that. Anyway, that's a positive, but it's still faint. Spraying it a couple more times should be enough to really make it stand out.
Are you gonna let me do it? I'm not pressing space.
Yeah, that brought it out nicely. It made it feel that much more real. Anyway, I think you got the gist of how to look for blood traces now, right? I'm sure there's still some more to be found, so why don't you give it a try? And just don't waste my luminol. Whatever you do, don't go spraying boobs. Oh, why are you spraying boobs? Why are you making the reticle and the crosshairs look like it's nipple? Why are you spraying it? Don't spray its belly button. I know it looks like a body and bodies have blood in them, but why? Why are you wasting all my luminol on the naked lady? Let's check all the masks. Check the blue badger. Check all this stuff. I mean, it's obvious on the ladder. I just wanted to check and see if we happen to maybe get anything else. Let's check the other side of the ladder first. Oh, there's some more up there. Let's start at the bottom here. Yay. And that's how it's done. Take a good look around and see if you can find some other places to test with the luminol.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna test the mannequin.
You want to test there some more? Why? Oh, okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry, it's a negative. You see, we don't need to let you spritz the naked lady body again. See, it's like, Mr. Edgeworth, why? You're gay. Why are you doing this? Okay, you want to test there?
The other place is obviously gonna be the box, but we're just gonna check everything because you never know. The elevator might have some blood though.
You want to test there? Okay. It's weird.
It's a negative, but again, this I do think the walkie-talkie is where the other voice was coming from, and the fact that all the masks had voice modulation stuff is why a lot of Heart didn't realize that it. Wait, they're there. I want to test them. I want to test them for blood.
Whoa, careful with that. You can't go around spraying others with luminol. It is toxic. Wait, did I ever tell you? Yeah, all of us, every one of us in forensics, we're going to die of cancer. I should have warned you.
I wasn't about to. Now I am. I want to spritz to my friends. Can I spritz this thing?
You want to test there?
I should read some more in the chat. Oak says to Magpie, it's already a New York Times bestseller. Quickity said it really should. Can we talk to these? Okay, let's check the elevator.
You want to test there?
Okay, so we will get some in the elevator. I'm guessing we'll get unless maybe it wasn't the box. Maybe it's inside the luggage the body was in.
Just spray some luminol on any place suspicious.
Yeah, not there. Okay, so let's check the buttons. No, let's take this side. It's gonna be on the ground here. Yeah. Maybe it's on this thing, and somebody was crushed. Oh, there's some blood. Yeah, we're being detectives. Let's see. Quick said it really should. Nora says okay. Lesbian Wolf says, speaking of DC, how does everyone feel about Duke? I don't want to be negative, but I feel like, okay, so for those who don't know, he's a character named Signal. I believe he's first appeared in the We Are Robin series, and he's yet another Batman sidekick. I feel like the Bat family has ballooned up way too big. I think part of the problem is that nowadays every single writer that comes in to work on almost any comic book, but especially Batman, feels like, I gotta create my own new character, so that if this character ever ends up in a movie, I'll get a credit and maybe get a residual check or something like that. And so everybody just does it. It's so Duke is there. Same with Harper Row and all these characters that just aren't necessary and are filling roles that already are filled by other characters. And so I feel like he's a bit superfluous person. Like, I have nothing against the character. I just think that he's unnecessary and might be better off, like, with a lot of these characters being their own thing somewhere else. I don't know why every writer has to create their own new character. Why you can't just like say, there's Batman, there's Robin, we got a couple other people, we got Nightwing, we got Oracle, you know, Alfred. Like the cast is there. Just do stories with them. That's just my personal take on it. Queen Katie said, okay, I'm done farming reverse 1999. My phone was now at 12%. Good thing I'm watching the stream on PC. Oh, good. Oak said, Logan forgot the DLL part of my username because he always just says Oak. I thought I said Oakdale. Did I not? When you said that, Queen Katie said, I still say we should have had a mind chest with memoryless K in this case. Oh, that would have been great. And she has like no pieces. Magpie says, I was waiting for the Hugh O'Connor. Logan never disappoints. Oh, and there's a Queen Katie clip for those who are lurking or who don't know the deal. Anytime someone posts a clip into our Twitch chat, I mean, I guess on YouTube you could post it as well, but I don't think we get it as much. We load it up onto our clip viewer and watch it together. This also gives us a timestamp to see how far behind we are. 22 minutes. Oh, it's Hugh O'Gavel. Yes, and somebody wins some, and bam, down comes the hammer. That's right, because auctions use a gavel. Like a judge. Yeah. Like a Judge Gavel. Mm-hmm. Gavel. 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 Hugh O'Connor. Yeah. I love how that like people who've never played Dual Destinies will have no idea what the crap I'm talking about, but it's an inside joke. It's an if you know, you know. Quickity said, you know what? I'm gonna check something and do math on that something real quick. Oak with the timestamp 1:21:21. See, I'm doing really well, 20 minutes behind. Oak said, it's funny because when I was watching the P3R VODs a while ago, I got to rewatch the VOD where I came into stream. Was it weird? Did you have like deja vu? Magpie says, Bat Cow has a star on her forehead. Why did I think it was a bat shape? Does Damien like use makeup to turn it into a bat or something? Magpie says, nope, never mind, I'm wrong. It is a bat mask. Why was I thinking it was a star? Hey, I feel vindicated. Let me check over on YouTube real quick here. Miguel says, I love her inquisitive silliness so much. No, Emma Sky is great. I didn't like how in Apollo Justice, she kind of became a jerk to us. I assume it's just because the Clavier was so mean to her and she was just always like grumpy and eating snackoos. But yeah, when she's like starry-eyed and whimsical, I am a fan of that, Emma Sky, very much. Miguel said, Skype is gone? Where are the millennials gonna contact their friends now? I know it's so sad, right? But it's also like if it's not keeping up with the other platforms. I remember, like, I used Skype a couple of times way back in the day, but I haven't used it in forever, so it's like, oh well, big deal. I hope there was nobody that I only had contact info through Skype, but I don't think so. Miguel says, I kind of F with the voice you gave her. Oh, really? I initially gave her a Valley Girl voice, but then Athena Sykes took that. Said, what's a bit of luminol between friends? Toshi, how you doing? Said, how are we gonna contact Phoenix now without Skype? I know. He would keep using all the outdated technology. I love that. How you doing though, Toshi? Miguel said, the extended Batman family laughing. How is Phoenix gonna contact Apollo now? Said reverse 1999 mention. I never finished the game in fear that I would end up in bankruptcy. Well, Miguel, if you're a fan of reverse 1999, you ought to check out some of Queen Katie's streams at twitch.tv/QueenKatieBat. She has some reverse 1999 streams, just reached chapter 8, which I guess is a thing. I don't know how it all works out, but there you go. You might want to check out some of her streams. I think she usually posts like notifications or posts or something like that when she on her Discord when she does that. So I gotta breathe for a second again. So yeah, maybe check out our Discord. I should play some game though. I should really play some game.
We got a positive. There's blood here. But how come?
Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I'd say.
Oh, looks like some of it dripped through the floor below too.
There was a lot downstairs. Remember, there's a big splatter of blood at the base of the statue. Elevator blood data jotted out of my organizer. Blood was detected on the secret elevator. It looks like it dripped through the floor below.
There are still places we haven't tested yet. Let's see what else we can find.
All right, what about the money?
You want to test there? Oh, okay. All right. Nothing on the money. Sorry, it's a negative. Let's check Red White's desk. You want to test there? Okay. All right.
I mean, again, obviously it's going to be the box, but I want to just check everything in case we miss some funny dialogue.
You want to test there? Okay. Sorry, it's negative. We tested almost everything. Maybe we should give up. You want to test in there? All right. Just spray some luminol on any place
Suspicious. Well, yeah, what's the suspicious place is inside the box, so I'll spritz outside first. Oh, why is the outside of the box not suspicious? Why is this tarp over here not suspicious? The floor is me. Is spritzing me. I'm worried I'm not having a reaction because I have blood in me. There, all right, there we go. There's some blood. Let's see. Gotta read some more in the chat though. Oak says, and when Logan saw me in chat, he immediately called me Oak. He didn't ask about shortening it like normal, which is fine. Oak's just my real name, but it's very funny in hindsight because he's never done that never had to struggle pronouncing the DLL. Maybe that's why, because it's just like too many consonants. Lesbian Wolf said, Bat Cow has a mask. Damien also has a pet devil demon thing. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, huh? Quiggita said, okay, Hugh O'Connor was ... Looks left and right for those who haven't played this game yet. To warn about spoilers, says 25 but claimed to be 18 in Dual Destinies, and that was 2027. We're currently in 2019, so that'd mean we're making fun of a 17 or 10-year-old with a running gag right now. You know what? But Hugh O'Connor's a dummy, so he deserves it. He's an endearing dummy, though. We do love Hugh O'Connor. Magpie says, oh, Batcaw has a star brand. That's what I was thinking of. Oak said, for reference, I just spelled DLL. It's file format, but pronouncing it out is also correct. It makes sense Logan would pronounce it considering how he says ping. Yeah, Oakdal. Ping tubers. You guys make fun of my pronunciations on so much stuff, but I still prefer ping. Hang on. And over on YouTube, Miguel said she became grumpy because she couldn't become a fully fledged forensic and just a run-of-the-mill detective. And Clavier's BS too, if I remember correctly. Yes, that glimmerous fop. At least he wasn't a fop doodle. Miguel says,
Mr. Edgeworth, we tested every other place in that box, so we have no luminol anymore.
Toshi said, you can't have a reaction by spraying Edgeworth. He needs to drink it. If we told him, do you think he would?
Mr. Edgeworth, blood!
But how could it have gotten there? I know we were asking earlier where one could hide a body, but this large body-sized box should not have had blood in it.
Maybe somebody put something with blood in there. What has blood? What has blood? Aminals have blood. Plants have sap, so they don't have blood. So this must have housed aminals.
And yes, Emma mispronounces animals. Clothes box blood. Blood was detected in a clothes box that was up for auction.
I think that's all the blood there is to be found. Or I hope so. I hope so, because as Miguel said, we are out of luminol.
All right, then that concludes this phase of our investigation. Wait, then why am I still walking? Oh, we probably got to put together more puzzle pieces in our brain pan. Okay, let's save again in case I'm stupid, although I think we only have 2 of them. When there's only 2, it ought to just happen automatically. It's more fun when there's like a whole bunch of them. They ought to have like red herrings, and then it like once you get the right ones, they just like evaporate or something. All right, and yep, just 2. Hidden body. The body was hidden. Clothes box. Blood where a body could be hidden. Let's try and see if they connect. No, Phoenix! I mean, Eureka! Blood in the clothes box can only mean one thing. That this is where the body was hidden. I'm certain of it. That's all I was thinking of.
I wonder who won the box in the auction.
I haven't the foggiest. Still, it's a very helpful discovery. Now you just hold your horses there. There's no way the body could have been in there. Why, is that where you hid, Lotta? Are you a body? Do you have blood in you, Lotta? What do you mean? I took a look at that there box when I first got in here. Looked to be just about the perfect size for a little hide-and-go-seek if the need arose. Maybe it would have been if I could have opened it, but it was wrapped in chains and locked up tight. I ain't no escaping my apologist. Murder happened just a little after I scoped it out, so can't nobody have put no body. Can't nobody have put no body in there? Wrapped in chains and locked up tight, you say? That's odd, for now it is not. It's almost as if someone might have had a key to a lock. Because it doesn't look to be wrapped in chains any longer. Huh? Well, slap my head and call me silly. I need a... Do we have a hand? Hang on. Hang on. I gotta do this. She asked me to. Why is it not letting me? Oh, there. Oh, I gotta do this. Silly, silly, silly. There. I always do what a Southern belle asks of me, even if she's annoying. Closed box data jotted down in my organizer. Box in which the killer hid the body. Traces of blood were detected inside. Is the investigation finally complete? Nope. Oh, maybe it is. I think we've examined all we can now.
Great, time to see what's waiting down below. Shaking a leg already, are we, Miles? I'm still here. Just so you know. Okie dokie. Hey, K-Meister. Yes, Mr. Fender. We're about ready to move out, so I want you to stick with me, okay? Can't have you getting lost. Of course, I'll be sure to stay close.
When did those two start getting along so well? As soon as you started glaring at your daughter for having amnesia. Ah, look! 5 people fit really well. And we have like little windows between our shoulders for the 2 behind us. It's perfect size. See, Edgeworth, sometimes an Edgeworth can survive an elevator ride.
April 5th, 7:43 p.m. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence Chamber.
Okay, so the blood splatter was directly underneath the elevator, it seems. Because... Oh, hey! Oh, crap! OK's gonna get arrested. What? I don't understand what's happening here. But Gumshoe's here! Tiff, your beloved Gumshoe is here. Mr. Edgeworth! That was a really dramatic entrance. Oh, you're so cool, Mr. Edgeworth. OF. This room. Aren't you worried that Kay is here? She's gonna get arrested.
This is the auction room. No, this is the committee chamber. Way to drop right into my lap, Kay Faraday. Smiling. Are you my boyfriend? I don't have amnesia, so I'll believe whatever you say. You've got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men. Arrest her right now.
I hope the only men in here is just Gumshoe. He'll be like, no, I won't. Wait, but she's...
As for the rest of the riffraff, throw them out into the streets where they belong.
Oh crap, they have men! Eustace has men! Why does he have men? Why don't we have men? We should have men. I want to read some chat. Oh, but the clicking of the camera is going to be so annoying, so I'll only read a couple of comments. Let's see. Oak said, for reference, I just spelled... Oh, I read that. Lesbian Wolf says, I need to sleep. I also really stoned, so peace out, y'all. Good night, Lesbian Wolf. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Sleep well. Oak said to Queen Katie, I can make fun of him. I'm also 17. Queen Katie said, wait, that means that assuming Hugh O'Connor is currently in Themis Academy right about now, he's about to have quite the rough time soon. Oak says, technically I'm not 17 for another 10 days, but shush. Nora says, ad quote, ain't nothing crazier than a box of frogs. Oak said, hey, I was about to quote that. No. Nora says she's fully 4'8" now. I was just gonna say 4'7 3/4, maybe. Oak says, this is the worst day of my life. Vinyl for one of my favorite albums just got repressed for the first time since 2021 and it sold out in like an hour. It's a bad day for me too because today Hasbro has officially raised prices on all their Transformers because of like tariff import fees. So my hobby just got more expensive. I bought like, I think 10%, so if anybody wants to like just pay me 10% of the money I normally make, I'd appreciate that. Oak said, my mom wouldn't let me get it because it's like $40, but all the proceeds are going to charity. She would take the $40 away from charity just to keep me away from Quandeca vinyl. Well, if it makes you feel better, when they say all proceeds go to charity, I always question that. I feel like it's like, what constitutes a proceed? Is it like, let's take the money that goes for the printing and then it'll profit for us? And there's a tuppence for charity. Quickity said, wait, even more of a second. I'm pretty sure Hugh O'Connor is literally the reason why I started doing name facts, because of how different his name was in each language. Oh, Hugh O'Connor. Oh, wonderful, wonderful himbo Hugh O'Connor. There's some more on YouTube. Actually, let's get to the point where Lada's not taking pictures. Then I'll read the YouTube chat, and we'll read some more Twitch. Hopefully I'm not too far behind. I can see we're almost to where Clam showed up.
You can't do this. This is going way overboard.
Yeah, what she said. I'm stomping my foot in this puddle of blood. Oh, wait, why did the elevator go back up? How did the elevator get down here in the first place? There's not like a railing system for it to guide on. Did it fly? Is it a magic elevator like in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? Am I gonna fall into a chocolate river and die? I survived that horrible museum of sweets only to die here. Oh, they're inching toward us. Stop inching! Stop inching!
Miles, this isn't looking good, I gotta say. Can we use violence?
See how blinding... Wow! Oh! I was saying something cool. Oh, why Mommy Francisca? See how the blinding light of justice shines on me? Oh! Oh, again! Yeah, why me? Why me? I'm a good guy! Oh, what did I do?
You'll have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain cowardly ex-prosecutor. I have my own theme music.
You weren't aiming for him. You were aiming straight at me. Oh. Let's read some more in the chat now that we don't hear the clicking anymore. Crystal says, Crystal will remain crystal-sized for a long time. Good, because it's perfect. You're perfect the way you are. Oak said to Crystal, yes, one day when you grow old, you'll shrink down to 4'6". That'll be sub-crystal. That'll be micro-crystal sized. Oak said, just as one day when Logan grows old, he will finally play Fuga. Oh, but got mentioned in chat. We got to tell Extemporaneous to add another day to the calendar, to the timer. It got mentioned by name. Queen Katie with a hydrate command. Thank you very much, Queen Katie. Over on YouTube chat, I got to scroll up a little bit actually for this. Let's see, Miguel says, do you think luminol tastes soapy or like chemicals? I would say like chemicals, but soap could be a type of chemical. Miguel says, that's not a bad word. That's a body part that sounds like Eureka. Should I say that? I don't know if that's rude or not. Miguel says, epic rap battles of history. Miles Edgeworth versus a trip to the elevator. Begin! Then Edgeworth does his rap and then the elevator just does dun, 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 dun. Opinion says, I love the whole dang squad in the elevator and I love my girl, but stop being mean. Toshi with message redacted. Miguel says, Kate looked so serene when she was in bandages. I forgot she was an utter gremlin. But gremlins are so much more fun than peaceful serenity. Opinion says, Franzi and Stacy on the screen. Okay, let's play a bit more.
Something just keeps getting in my way. Something! Ha! Oh! Right there!
Franziska.
So what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor?
I still believe Kay to be innocent.
And we are supposed to care what you believe? You no longer have the right to an opinion. Ha! I am Franziska von Karma, and I have no intention of stopping here or now. But you chose to stop by giving up your badge, and so our game has already come to an end.
She's so sad. My badge was an obstacle to proceeding along the road I've chosen. I haven't stopped. I've simply cleared the way ahead. And now I'm free to follow that road all the way to the truth. So don't you think for a second that my conviction has changed. I'm every bit as dedicated as I ever was.
You seem to think you know what lies at the end of this road to the truth.
In that case, I demand that you show me. Crap, she's gonna want evidence. I don't think we have evidence to show her, do we? Let's save. And then figure out what evidence. Also, I just noticed it's turning the 2-hour mark. I don't know how that's happening.
I'll explain my current theory first. And if your road fails to lead anywhere,
Oh, so we're gonna do a cross-examination.
my whip will happily guide it.
Cross-examination. Franziska's current theory. I gotta breathe, hang on. 2 hours of nonstop talking takes a lot of oxygen out of you. Let's see. Oh, Quigated with Hydrate Command. Did I already drink from that? I don't know if I did. I'll do that right now if I haven't. Crystal says, hello, Clam. Clam says, oh, that was TTS. Nora said, I'm so upset about Skype, bro. Wait, why? Why, Nora, you are of the younger rising generation. Why do you care about Skype? Clam says, rip in peace, Skype. Oak says, I think I'm the only person under the age of 20 who has used Skype. Oak said, Emma really has the Junpei voice. It's very noticeable when she says, naked lady. Clam says, Skype is like the same problem as G-Chat? What is G-Chat? We have it and everyone uses it. Let's try to convince them to use a different thing we have, like Microsoft Teams, just like everyone used it. Why not improve the service and improve its branding instead of being like, trust me, go to the other thing that does exactly what this does, only it has more of a corpo branding, and only thing that doesn't have you use it. So G-Teams, or G-Chat, is that, I don't know that. I do remember, I think at work one time they tried to get us to use Microsoft Teams, then they switched to something else that's also just awful. Nora said, Oak, you know that I have Skype and I've used it for several years. Oak says to Nora, you're not a real person. Nora says, okay. Oak says, no way, we have 250 quotes since starting Metaphor. Magpie says, Clavier isn't even mean to Emma, to be honest. He's just generally pretty sweet and has a certain level of professionalism he requires. I think she just didn't like the fact that he was a pretty boy who was kind of full of himself. And that she, because I feel like someone that Emma sees like that, she's gonna want to take down a peg. And she couldn't do that with Clavier, and so she's like,
that glamorous fop.
That's my take, anyway.
The victim used her keycard and entered this chamber with her killer. She was then stabbed with the candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result.
Oh, that's right. So now that we know the elevator gets in here, we showed there's an alternate way to get in here without a keycard. And they're like, how do you get in here without a key card? You guys just watched it. You saw us. We shouldn't even need to present evidence.
We know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. And we know the location of the murder is here in the committee's trial chamber. Ha! The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game, set, and match. Miles Edgeworth QED.
QED. I don't know what that stands for. I'm not cool. QED. What is that? What does that mean? Okay, here we go. QED, Latin abbreviation for Quad Erat Demonstrandum, which was to be demonstrated. QED may appear at the conclusion of a text to signify the author's overall argument has just been proven. Okay. So it means which has been demonstrated or thus it has been proven. So Miles Edgeworth, thus it has been proven. So that's what she's saying. I gotcha. I thought she was German, not Latina.
She seems pretty confident, huh?
Oh, sorry, she seems... Yeah, that was her. I'm sorry, I get M and K mixed up sometimes.
She doesn't lack the courage of her convictions, that's for certain. And I gotta say, I can dig that vibe. Fender likes some pain, some danger. I could even give her a no hard feelings. Ow! The joke's on you. Fender likes it again, Mommy. Do it again, Mommy. Ha! Pathetic! Well, Miles Edgeworth, do you think you can bring my case crashing down around my ears? If you really have found the road to the truth, perhaps you'd be so kind as to point me toward it.
I mean, surely Franziska wants Edgeworth to prove her wrong, because Franziska loves Kay. I'd be very happy to settle in, Franziska. I'm about to pave that road with incontrovertible evidence. And some blood. I don't know why. Oh, and Gumshoe should go dun dun dun. Franziska's current theory. Okay, so you guys know the drill. Whenever we get to this point, we save, we press every statement, and then we present our evidence. But I'm gonna read a couple more comments in the chat because I'm still behind. I don't know how far behind. It can't be too far because slow mode has been on for a while. Queen Katie said, yes, I just finished chapter 7 on Reverse 1999, about to do the current event on the game on Sunday. Oak said, my partner would like me to ask you all, what colors do you think are married? Orange and purple are married. Green and blue are married. Pink and white are married. Red and yellow have been in a committed relationship for a while, but are afraid to take the plunge. That is the only correct answer. And blue is just feeling blue, because blue is single. Nora said, oh, hey, that was my quote from last time. Oak said, I think orange and yellow are butch lesbians. Said, not yellow, green. I don't know how I mixed that up. Magpie says, ping tuber is better than PNG tuber is shorter. Shake my head. And it's shorter. It's snappier. PNG sounds, it's ping. It's like if you have the file .jpg, you don't say, oh, yeah, download that JPG. Say it's a JPEG. It's a JPEG. And you can argue over whether it's GIF or GIF. I say GIF. But nobody calls it a GIF. So why do we say it a PNG? It's a ping. Magpie says, and GIF there we go. GIF stands for graphics interchange format, not giraffic. So it's a hard G. That's my hill to die. And I agree with you, Magpie. I don't care what the inventor of the GIF says. Queen said, yeah, I say GIF like I'm about to say gift, but without the hard T. Magpie says, correct. Timestamp from Queen Katie, 1:49:14. I'm only 15 minutes behind. So in that case, how long is our slow-mo? Do we need to adjust it? I think we can put it down to like a 10-second at this point, because I'm doing so well right now. Let's check over on YouTube. Toshi says, now I'm an ordinary civilian who have no authority and can examine crime scenes illegally. My badge was stopping me from committing crimes. That's basically what Edgeworth was saying, I guess. Miguel said, do you think the goddess of justice adores or despises the world of Ace Attorney? I think if she existed, that she would be amused by it. Miguel says, red and blue are married. Ah! My theory that blue is single, unless maybe the reason why that red and yellow have yet to take the plunge is because red is having an affair with blue. All right, let's do this. The victim used her key card and entered the chamber with her victim. Hold it. I feel like I'm struggling with her German accent lately. It's like I'm losing it. And you're sure that the data from the security system is accurate? That data is just like me. Perfect in every way! There's no room for doubt on either front. Well, your theory is far from perfect. I suppose I'm not going to change your mind on this so easily, am I? Correct! As I said, the victim entered the room with her killer. She was then stabbed with the candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. Hold it! And the stab wounds she sustained are a perfect match with the candelabrum in question. 3 wounds inflicted by metallic spikes of some kind in 3 places simultaneously. Even you have to agree there aren't many objects that could do that. Well, if people had 3 knives and teamwork, you know. Furthermore, Grandma Hertz confirmed the murder weapon in her report. I still kind of suspect her because we don't have many suspects. How many parts, Queen Katie, in your guide are we into this? And we don't really have many suspects, so it's got to be like either Grandma Hertz, it's Hilda Hertz. It could be Nurse Needler. It might be Excelsius Winner, but I feel like he's going to be the big bad of next chapter, so probably not him. It could be Eddie Fender if they really want to take us for a ride. Then there's absolutely no doubt in your mind that it was the candelabrum. None whatsoever. As for the culprit, we know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. Hold it! Have you managed to prove conclusively that the letter found on the victim was sent by Kay? I wasn't aware there was any doubt on that front. Are you suggesting it was a forgery? Well, if there was any doubt, there isn't any longer. Document analysis turned up nothing. Nothing to suggest the involvement of anyone other than the sender or the recipient, or of any forgery. Are you saying they found Kay's prints? No, only the victims. Oh, well then, how can you say for sure that Kay did the deed? Haven't you been listening? Document analysis found nothing to suggest the letter was a forgery. Let's just leave it at that.
We don't need to ask any questions. We just need to establish it and move on. Face it, the letter was sent by Kay Faraday. A fact that more than adequately proves the identity of the murderer. And we know the location of the murder is here in the committee's trial chamber.
Wow, this is a long cross-examination. I should also check our evidence at some point. We're either going to get her on the fact that you entered with a key card because we believe the person came with an elevator, or that the murder was here when we found blood on stain. Yeah, because of blood stains on top of the elevator and on the ladder up there. Let's press, though. You can prove that the murder happened here in the committee chamber, I suppose.
Von Karma is perfect in every way. I mean, except for mein father, Manfred. He's more like man dead now, because he was executed. Or did you forget that when you handed in your badge?
Oh, that's all she's got to say.
The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game, set, and match Miles Edgeworth's QED.
Has the blood been analyzed to see who it belongs to?
It has, and unsurprisingly, it was confirmed to be that of the victim.
And has it occurred to you that where it was found may not be where the murder in fact took place?
How quickly you forget, Miles Edgeworth. Evidence is everything in the courtroom. So please, present your proofs that the murder occurred elsewhere.
I'm gonna save.
Or kindly stand down.
Just in case we gotta present it right now. Because I can't remember what proof we have. It's gonna be a blood stain on top of the elevator, right? I'm not on top of the elevator. I'm like in the elevator that's on top. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Proof that the murder occurred elsewhere, huh? This isn't a courtroom, but that doesn't mean I can't give her the evidence she so clearly desires.
She makes a pretty watertight argument, huh?
Perhaps, but she doesn't know what we know.
You're right. We've got a certain scientific discovery up our sleeves.
And that discovery will show her to the road I found. Show her to the road I found to the truth. Okay, so that's what it's gonna be. Location of the murder here in the committee's trial chamber. Wait, which statement do we present it to? That the location? Well, I'm gonna assume it's this one. Because that's the one that we're gonna save. We're save scumming. We're shamelessly scumming the crap out of our saves. Before we present this, let me read some more in the chat though. Let's see, Oak says, the creator of GIFs had to make a sign that says, is pronounced GIF, not GIF, and I think it tells you all you need to know. Means you can't trust the guy. Cannot trust the guy. Magpie says that the creator of GIFs is wrong. Quigator says, yeah. Oak said to Magpie, yeah. He had to spell it out. He had to spell it wrong so people could pronounce it, just say GIF. Exactly! Magpie says, well, the creator said it, so it must be, yeah, my mom thought it was girl tube, still non-binary. Oak said, if it was actually pronounced GIF, it would have been spelled that way. Queen said, lol, yeah. I thought my favorites would be safe at chapter 7, but I was wrong too. Doc says, Eddie, Crazy, Fender, and Lotta, Silly Heart. There's a clip there. Let's check the YouTube chat really quickly. Oh, because we got a bunch more lurkers on YouTube right now. That's nice to see. Miguel says, what? Giving Franzi a German accent instead of the usual hottest lady in the room voice is kind of cool. Oh, you like it? Well, because what it was, that was just the Manfred von Karma voice. And then the second game, it's like, oh, we got another von Karma. Okay, you get that voice. You get the same voice. So I'm glad you like it, Miguel. Okay, so Oak has posted a clip once again for any lurkers or people who don't know the drill. Whenever someone posts a clip into the Twitch chat, or you could do it in YouTube, I suppose. We'll load it up on the clip viewer so we can all watch it together. Oh crap, it's doing the same thing your clips were doing the other day. Oh, it's giving me an error. The video downloaded was canceled. Please try again. It's titled Slap My Head and Call Me Silly. Oh, so at least we know what it was. It was when I guess I moved over and slapped Lotta Hart's head and called her silly. I'm sorry that it doesn't work. Oh, I don't know why that is. I apologize. Quigan said, oh, this scene. I once saw a Tumblr post about this exact scene, and the caption for it was moments before disaster. Quigan said Miles was so dramatic riding the elevator down, like, yeah, we're solving this, but then no, we're about to get arrested. Quigan said, so you know what? Maybe Logan is wrong. Maybe something did happen to an Edgeworth on an elevator anyway. Magpie says Edgeworth has men, Gumshoe and Phoenix. Unfortunately, they're his boyfriends, not his lackeys. Well, one of them is a lackey, but both of them, Magpie, are his husbands. Okay, so let's try this. We're gonna present evidence. We're gonna show the blood that was on the elevator blood, because blood was detected on the secret elevator. It looks like it dripped through the floor below. So this should be evidence to show that. So present. Objection! Hey, we got it! If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue.
Murder under the gaze of the divine, a brazen act even for a cold-blooded killer.
Except that may not be true at all. Take a look at this, if you would. It's a blood stain we discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found looks to have dripped through to the room below. And the elevator, it dripped down from...
Descends directly to the foot of the statue!
Ah, you noticed! Then you will agree that the murder cannot, in fact, have happened in this room. I put it to you that the victim was killed in the room above, and only afterward was she moved down here. Although, isn't this worse for Kay? Because Kay admitted to being on the roof and can get into that room much easier than down here. Down here, we had to have this whole thing. It's like, she probably entered when the key card was used. But now it's like, this makes it easier for Kay to do an oopsie-daisy-do murder. The Goddess of Justice did not witness a murder! She witnessed a killer trying to cover their tracks! No. Why is she smiling? Because she realizes this is worse for Kay.
Sorry, I was just thinking back to a very similar situation.
When somebody's father died in an elevator. Oh, you're going to cry. You're going to cry, Miles Edgeworth. Little Milesy, dead daddy in an elevator, Edgeworth. Oh, boo-hoo, don't have a dad no more.
But I don't have a dad anymore because of you! He was executed! Don't see me crying every time I sit down in a chair and have a metal ball on my head.
Well done, Miles Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to be even more
Foolish than I thought!
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth is anything but a fool, sir, and you know it. I do love that Gumshoe still calls Franziska sir. Ouch!
Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really that airheaded? Even a cursory glance shows that there was far more blood here in the committee chamber than upstairs.
Ouch! Whipped and ignored. Again, yow! Crap, what did he say? I didn't have time to read it. I wish I could get some love.
I'm sorry, Dick Gumshoe. This is how I show love. Whicha, 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 chow!
Is Tiff still here to witness this Gumshoe abuse? I should read some more in the chat. Let's see. Oak says, yeah, I think everyone knows what is wrong with stating it's pronounced GIF, not GIF. Magpie says, Oak, you think? But some people still defend GIF for some reason. Clam's still here. Clam, do you have an opinion on the GIF debate? Oak says, kill them. Normally, I wouldn't trust them, saying all proceeds go to charity, but it's a pretty small artist, and they named the specific charity, so I trust. Queen Katie said, yeah, if they name an exact charity, then I trust them a little. If something being vague about where they're donating to is like, maybe we'll actually do what we say we'll do, or maybe not. Queen Katie said, I hate that kind of vagueness, and a timestamp, 1:59:59, less than 20 minutes behind. Hang on, I got a cough. Okay.
You're trying to tell me that all of the blood dripped down from above, Miles Edgeworth? If it had, your storeroom stain would need to be 10 times as big.
Maybe the person was like dangling over the edge of the elevator as it was going up, you know?
I say the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else.
Well, then how'd the blood get in the elevator?
As insightful as ever, Franziska, but you played right into my hands.
How so? You are correct. There is far less blood upstairs than one would expect. The question is, why?
A trifling detail in the face of my previous explanation.
I'd like to think that right now, Eustace has had Kay arrested and is left, and all the men are heading out of here, and Fenner's like, no, come back, and Gumshoe's like, hey, where do I go? Do I stay with Mr. Edgeworth? And it's like these two are so wrapped up in their little sibling argument that they don't even notice what's going on around them. Alas, your explanation doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think that some splatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you?
Whoa, like some crazy fountain of blood. No way, I saw that in a samurai movie once.
No way, indeed. It's completely impossible.
Then how did it happen in the samurai movie?
So, how about this? What if this explains the difference in the amount of bloods observed? Oh crap, I gotta put, oh crap. Okay, I can save, I can still save. I saw the options button disappearing into like autoplay. Hit points are on the line here. There was far more blood in the committee chamber than in the storeroom above because the weapon was removed here, the victim was stabbed here, the victim was stabbed upstairs. I guess we'll say the weapon was removed here because it was found down here. So maybe the person was in the elevator when it was down here, and I'm or killed up there. Then the person, we do know the body was brought down here eventually, so we'll say the weapon. I'm gonna guess that. Let me read a couple comments in the chat though, because I'm probably wrong. Oak said to Queen Kitty, yeah, they listed 2 charities, so I'm assuming it's like 50-50. One of them is Trans Lifeline. Probably shouldn't say the other one because it might count as politics, but it's a great charity. Queen Kitty said, I actually learned recently that you can use Xbox points you collect to make a donation to charities. It's interesting. I didn't know that. Clem says, Google Chat Google has announced they were going to end it like 2 times to try and get people to use products that were identical, but not enough people left, so they just kept it around. I don't get that. If the other service is better, just make the service everyone uses the better service. I agree, Clam. People will be upset that, oh, you changed the UI or something like that, but they'll get over it. Oak said, my partner is telling me his lore right now, but I'm listening in the background. Clam says, kind of weird that chat isn't simping for Franziska. Truly, we're in a degen dark age, truly. Well, part of it, Clam, I think is that Nora probably stepped out. I think Nora was simping after Franziska before. Magpie says, in my group chat, pink and purple are married. I think cyan and white are married. Black and red are married. Neon green and orange and purple are poly. So you're using fancy colors like cyan and things like that. And neon green, although neon green is a good green, I'll admit. Over on YouTube, Toshi says, Ace Attorney doesn't know about blood analysis. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of the time when we're discussing these things, we should just say like, okay, get forensics to check it. In fact, we have Emma right here. It's like, do some tests, run the tests. Gumshoe was running tests back and forth before. Why hypothesize? Why theorize? Get Dexter, what's his name, from the show Dexter, based on the books about Dexter, to come in here and do a blood splatter analysis, Toshi. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. The weapon was removed here. Let's try that. The victim died of 3 stab wounds that would have bled profusely, huh?
I don't really have that much of an opinion on her. I think she's cool again. I don't know her that well. Crying face emoji. Boo,
Ah!
boo, boo,
Yeah.
boo, boo,
I'll wait till
boo,
they're all done.
boo.
Ah! Thank you for the 10 bits, Nora, huh?
Dexter? The one with the laboratory?
Yes, in Dexter's laboratory. That one, where he's also secretly a serial killer. Because the cartoon is an adaptation of the books as well, I assume. Clam. Thank you for the 10 bits, both Nora and Clam. And sorry, Nora, I think I just assumed that because it is a conventionally attractive woman that you'd be drooling all over her. So I guess I was wrong. I apologize, Nora. Okay. So yes, Clam, I guess it truly is a degen dark age. The victim died of 3 stab wounds that would have bled profusely.
Exactly! As proven by the amount of blood we found on the floor of this room.
But that doesn't make any sense. Blood belongs inside the body. How did it get out? Well, not if she was stabbed in the storeroom. You said there wasn't much blood. Oh, ee, ow, oh, ooh, ah, ee, oh.
Ha! Silence, you half-baked, hair-brained rookie!
Huh?
Nah. She seems cool though. Girl boss.
Okay, that's something. Your relationship with her will eventually blossom. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Nora. I do appreciate that. And I'm glad that you don't hate her, at least. Hey, harebrained is a little, because my hair is outside of my brain. Wow! A stab wound bleeds heaviest at one particular point in time.
Oh, I know, when the weapon is removed, right?
Precisely. I believe the body was brought down to the committee chamber with the candelabrum still in its chest. And then, when it was finally removed, it created the difference in the amount of blood we see between the 2 locations.
But why? Why was the killer? What was the killer trying to?
To confuse the location of the murder. I imagine they were trying to give the impression that the murder happened down here. As we know, Ms. Ringer's keycard was used late last night. Maybe it'll be Verity Cavell. Maybe she's the murderer here. I think everybody will be happy if Verity Cavell gets executed for murder, right? Nobody will be sad if Cavell dies, right? Judging by the time listed on the record, I'd hazard a guess that it was used by the killer when they entered the room to create their elaborate setup.
But why would they have needed to do all this in the first place?
Because they have tons of incriminating evidence upstairs, Franziska. You're looking for a smuggling ring. There's people smuggling stuff up there. Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation. Have we told Franziska what was up there yet? If they were involved in the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their dirty secret exposed. Committee chamber blood data jot down by organized. Yeah, Franziska's probably, what is they talking about? The auction? What?
Your relationship with her will blossom, Logan. What does this mean? Crying face emoji, crying face emoji, crying face emoji. Can I not appreciate a girl boss?
Well, you don't allow female characters in video games to just appreciate each other. So this is just a little bit of what do they call that? A little bit of your own medicine or something like that. I don't know. I don't think before I talk, but thank you very much for the 10 bits. I do appreciate that. Blood found in the committee chamber. Was a place there to hide the existence of the storeroom?
Underground auction?
Oh, is she realizing this is connected to the smuggling ring? You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. One that should more than explain what was going on here last night.
It's almost endearing, Miles Edgeverse, how desperately you want to protect your friend.
You, Franziska, you love K2.
I don't think before I talk. LoganRobo proving he is honest.
I mean, am I wrong? Thank you for the 10 bits, Clam. You know me probably best of anyone currently in chat, so you should know weller than everybody here. Thank you very much for the 10 bits. Over on YouTube, Toshi is saying, adding Dexter would be cool. We never had a forensic suspect in AA. I know, I keep trying to figure out like what the big bad is gonna be. And I think I mentioned during Spirited Justice, we've never had a judge be the big bad. And so that's probably what it's gonna be in this game, obviously. Because of the prosecutorial committee, there are like judges and stuff. And then Opinion says, call that a piece of your, and then parentheses, for your own medicine. High five for the pun, Opinion. I love that. A taste of your own medicine. Ha, I like it. All right, let's play a bit more and then I'll read some more of the chat in a little bit. There's something just beneath the surface of this case. Something bigger than all of us. And Kay's only crime was to have the bad fortune to fall right into the middle of it.
That's quite the hyperbolic claim, Miles Edgeverse.
Hyperbolic? Me? Surely you're the one making a mountain out of my perfectly reasonable molehill. You are working with Interpol on international cases. So why are you investigating a domestic murder? I'll tell you why. Because this case has something to do with the smuggling ring you've been chasing. You followed the trail of items being smuggled by the ring and wound up here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that the something I sense isn't related to this. Come on, tell me. Oh, it's what I'm into. When I'm alone with that man, he just always tells me I'm wrong.
I'm very happy to learn that your giving up your badge didn't completely relieve you of your senses.
I need to breathe. By the way, we're almost to the 2.5 hour mark, which means it's a real good time to start keeping an eye out for raid suggestions for later on. And please remember that Crystal, who's usually our MVP for raid suggestions, if Crystal, if you're there and you want to give me, you still can, but she's had kind of a rough day. If she needs some rest and some time not to do raid suggestions, maybe the rest of us can pick up some slack. I'm just saying. But I should read some more in the chat. Magpie says, I'm gonna build a Lego Batmobile now. Oh, may I ask which Batmobile? Which one? I still feel like the Tim Burton 1989 Batmobile is like the best, but Batman Animated Series is a close second. Oh, but the 1966 Batmobile is also really good. Oak says to Magpie, I think teal is Aero Ace. Clam says, we should all build a Lego Batmobile in our hearts. I think that should be the vibe of this community. I concur! Clam! Oh, by the way, Clam, do you have multiplayer games like Repo, like Chained Together, stuff like that? Quiggita says, I don't know about colors, but as a kid, I've seen an entire community with numbers. 1 and 2 are definitely a sitcom couple. 4 and 5 are just normal couple who gets uncomfortable easily among the numbers. 6 and 7 are wildly in love, which is crazy because 6 is afraid of 7, Queen Katie, because 7, 8, 9 said are wildly in love, like cringe love. 8 is just chilling. 8 was chilling, you mean? Because 8, oh no, it's 9 got 8, never mind. 3 and 9 have something going on. What is it? I don't know. Never figured out. 10 or 0's deal. Well, 3 is going to have to take revenge on 7 for eating 9. Doc says, I think all of our hearts have different baggies of Lego pieces to the Lego Batmobile, and we work together. We can build a whole one Lego Batmobile. Ah, it's beautiful. Quiggita said, we're about to finish page 4 of the guide after this Franziska brawl. There's 6 pages total. Yeah, excuse me. Still have that lingering cough. So yeah, we haven't really met suspects, so it's gotta be Hilda Hertz, Needler, Gavel, or Excelsius. Or again, if they really want to throw us for a loop, it could be Fender, but I like Fender. I don't want him to be a murderer. Magpie says, to be honest, I'd respect them for making a Fender. That'd be wild. Oak said to Queen Katie, 6 is in love with a cannibal. See, that's what I'm saying. Doc says, Fender eats so much paper, he turns evil. Oak says, and 3 is a widow now. See, Oak understands. Let me check it over on YouTube there. Opinion says, he, and Burner says, good pun. Yuri, own medicine, genius. That's like legit a really good pun. Opinion, there are few things in this world I appreciate as much as a good pun. So that's all. I give you a good pun high five. Consider that a high compliment. All right, let's play a little bit more here.
Scruffy here told me about the circumstances that led up to that, by the way.
I didn't tell you about my circumstances. Sorry, sir. I just thought it might help, you know.
You did the right thing, detective.
Hey?
So, am I right, Franziska? Is this incident part of the broader case you're working? Was the underground auction already on Interpol's radar? Wouldn't you like to know? But you don't need to! So you won't. Then you knew, didn't you, that the auction was being held here in this chamber?
Hey, y'all! Can I go home? Mind if I butt in for a sec? Your victim over there, the lady in the white. Hold it!
You are the one and only woman I hate!
Hey, let a gal finish, will ya? No good butting in, pain in the... No good butting in, pain in the you-know-what! Youch! Well, this leopard sure ain't changed her spots.
Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence!
Do you think Franziska is nice to Trucy? Like, legit question. We've already established that, like, Phoenix Wright invites Miles over to, like, see Trucy's magic show because they talked about it once. Do you think Franziska ever comes with? I'd like to think that Franziska is like the, she's like an aunt to Trucy, but like an aunt who's a bad influence that Phoenix tries to kind of keep away from her too much. But that makes Trucy want to hang out with Franziska even more.
Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence.
What do you mean? I'm a journalist. You can't. Ow!
You're a liar is what you are. You lied under oath that one time. Oh, if only we actually punished people for perjury in this universe. Seems like Ms. Von Karma is not too fond of Ms. Hart, huh?
I don't think she's her biggest fan, no. Oh, what's she called? Ringer, right? Well, she was a member of this here committee. Well, she's dressed exactly like the ringleader of that there secret auction. Ow! Stop it! Stop whipping me, dang it!
What is the meaning of this interruption, Miles Edgeworth? Explain!
I mean, to be fair, Lotta Hart probably has a lot of evidence that could help Franziska with the smuggling case. Ms. Hart here helped us out by describing how the auctioneer was dressed. And it seems they were wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Ms. Rosie Ringer.
But that would mean that the victim was also the ringleader.
Or that they swapped clothes. Let me read some more comments in the chat, by the way. Once again, if you guys got raid suggestions, because we got like 25 minutes till the 3-hour mark. Let's see. Quiggity says, okay, exactly. Stockholm. Clam says, the real Lego Batmobile was the friends we made along the way. Magpie says, I am fascinated by the implications of the community Lego Batmobile I started. Oak says, who is this Logan Robo guy? I don't know. Doc says, LoganRobo. Nora says, Logo Roban. Doc says, Born Nagol. Quiggity says, oh, I just noticed Franzi said QED. It's initialism of the Latin phrase. There we go. It's what I had to look up. The Latin phrase quod erat demonstrandum, meaning that which has to be demonstrated. Literally, it states what has been shown. Also, the name of one of my favorite mystery manga that has taught me random math stuff. Oh yeah, you mentioned that before. Magpie says, quote, but both of them, Magpie, are husbands. Correct. Gotta scroll down a bit. Queen Gator said, BRB grabbing milk. Posted the guide and spoiler chatting just in case. Well, I feel like we did well in that cross-examination, so hopefully we won't really need it. We'll see. Quiggity says, I have milk. Oak says, I thought I would like Franziska, but she keeps being mean to my cutie Gumshoe. I know she's mean to everybody, though. Oak said, hashtag free Gumshoe. Quiggity said, I'm sorry in advance then, because that'll happen in the second Ace Attorney game. Doc says, Gumshoe can do no wrong. Clam says, I'm the always say GIF with a hard G. Also, in the always call it gnome, as in home, and never gnome when speaking about the desktop environment. They have one called gnome. Said also SQL is always SQL, never sequel. People call it sequel? I would call it squeal. Nora says, huh? Magpie says, I was going with the color of the heart emotes on Discord. Oh, and then Oak with the timestamp 2:22:22. Look at that, I'm like 15 minutes behind is all. Okay, an opinion is given an opinion saying Franziska is nice to Pearl, so probably, I like that. I would like to think that she's got a soft spot for everybody's weird girls.
Never squeal either.
You hear that, chat? Never squeal. Surely Clem is not talking about SQL. Chat, if you ever have the opportunity to squeal, whether it be with delight or fear, never squeal either. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. Let me have a sip of water here. Hang on.
But that would mean that the victim was also the ringleader.
Hey, now, hey, how about we all just calm down? I'm trying to be nice.
It seems I have some new information to consider. It's true that I came here to investigate the underground auction and to arrest its head of operations, the auctioneer.
But if Miss Hart is to be believed, the ringleader is dead. I guess that means your journey here was wasted.
Wasted? Just like a certain friend we met recently in Metfori Fantasio. Oh, if only Vera was here in the chat right now to experience this moment. I suppose it does. Nonetheless, I, Franziska von Kamer, I refuse to leave empty-handed. Ha! Time for a rematch, Miles Edgeworth.
Wait, we're gonna do another cross-examination? Fine by me. But you may find that your whip will go sorely underused this round. Was there ever anyone that dodged her whip? I feel like Godot may have dodged her whip at one point, but I can't remember if Godot ever met Franziska. Franziska's latest theory. Okay, so we got another cross-examination. So we're not quite as close to the end of this part as I thought, based on what Queen Katie was saying.
Fine. I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer, and the culprit was an attendee.
Franziska, you know, let's dog ear this thought for a second. We already have evidence placing Lotta Hart up in the room where the murder happened, when the murder happened. So Franziska, how about we all just say Lotta Hart did the murder? I see no downside to this.
The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. They then stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum.
Okay. I mean, nothing inherently wrong with that. I don't think we should assume that the killer had anything to do with the auction. Or I also don't think we should assume that Rosie Ringer did or didn't. But she's not pointing the finger at Kay from the sound of things.
There. Does that about sum it up? Because I won't be accepting rebuttals.
I'm afraid you might have to. There's a serious hole in your testimony.
There he is. I don't spot any. Please show me your younger stepsister's hole. Why are you guys looking at me like that? Good thing you're the one in charge here, Mr. Edgeworth. All right then, time to fight back. You have to win this for us.
And I will. Time to take Franziska's testimony to task. Rebuttal. All right, once again, you guys know the drill. We got to save, press every statement, then we'll present our evidence. But I wanna check some chat, see if I'm missing out on anything in there. Let's see, where did I leave off? There's a bunch of TTSs. Nora says, what does this mean? What does what mean? Nora said he talked over the boo. The only ones I do that for are Chie and Yukiko because they're dating. Clam says, yeah, I don't think before I talk. Logan Robo proving he's honest. Clam says, I sure as darn don't think before I talk. Nora said, imagine the big bad is Shelly the Killer. I do love the fact that like a literal murderer, professional murderer, has shown up multiple times in the series now and is not the murderer whenever we need it. Clem says, and I don't proofread my messages before I send them. This is the way. Nora says, Nora, the raid suggestion. Let me copy that down. Thank you very much, Nora. I feel like this is the raid suggestion that Oak suggests a lot as well. Is this a friend of the two of yours? But let me just copy this down. Thank you very much, Nora. Because how far are we? We were like 20 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. We got a little bit more time. Magpie says, is the Batman the Animated Series Batmobile because I love Batman the Animated Series so much. That's a good one. That is a, that's like an A-class, A-tier Batmobile in my opinion. So if you choose that as your favorite, or if you just love it so much, I approve. Again, I say the Tim Burton one is like S tier though. Quicket said, for once people are streaming Yangtze River stuff, but they're both major spoilers. No, darn it. And Crystal says, rip Queen Katie. Quicket said, I'm writing their channels down because I have to follow them just for doing the game. And then Oak with some raids and Crystal with some raids. I'll copy these over in a minute, but let's start doing this cross-examination here first. Let me click back over to the game.
Fine, I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes.
I don't know why I'm struggling to talk so much today. Hold it! You conceded that point rather easily. I can't help but be suspicious. Are you a sussy baka? Are you a sussy baka, Franziska?
I'm not in the habit of denying facts that are readily supported by the evidence. That's all there is to it. You were able to show us that the murder actually took place in the storeroom. In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction.
Hold it.
You see, I'm gonna give it a theory now, okay? I think Rosie Ringer is not the auctioneer. I'm gonna think that Excelsius Winner is probably the auctioneer, the ringleader, whatever. I think Rosie Ringer, because she's a member of the Committee of Prosecutorial Excellence, was aware of what was going on here and was trying to bust it. Because what was it that her note said that she gave to Kay? We got one note written to the victim by Kay. No, we want the other one. Where's the other note? Here we go. Yeah, don't worry, I'll make sure you give your precious thing back. Okay, so maybe it was the other one. What does this note say? Thanks so much for agreeing to help with my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge. What happened 12 years ago, says Kate. Okay, so she's getting revenge on the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence and this whole smuggling ring. So she's trying to bust them, and they probably all murdered her for it, and then find Kay as a convenient patsy to pin it all on, right? It makes sense? And how exactly did you come to that conclusion?
Members of the big building staff were questioned extensively, but none mentioned a secret storeroom. It seems its existence was known only to a handful of people.
And of course, that storeroom was where the items that were being sold in the auction were being kept.
Very good, which suggests a link between knowledge of the storeroom and involvement in the auction.
So I guess that means, yeah, so Rosie was involved in the auction, but brought Kay into it then.
And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee.
So, you believe that the victim and the ringleader were one and the same?
I do, and the murderer was.
Why, you asking her this? You just said the exact same thing yourself, dummy. But again, we haven't established the seeming contradiction of the fact that she was wearing a man's coat. Now, nothing wrong with a woman wearing a man's coat, but it would seem to imply that maybe the clothes belonged to somebody else, right? So I did, but I was merely confirming Franziska's reasoning in order to... Oh, don't give me that horse feed! You get caught saying something stupid, you give a little laugh and move on with your day. How?
The murderer was one of the auction attendees.
What? You don't got no notes for our friend here after that little performance of his?
Of course, assuming that our friend, the photographer's word can be trusted.
I can't quite tell if they love or hate one another. Oh, I'm shipping them now. That's right, Miles Edgeworth ships his little sister with the annoying photographer.
Anyway, the more relevant point here is how the culprit already actually carried out their plan. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place.
Hold it! How exactly did they manage that, may I ask? Miss Hart was in the storeroom too, remember?
Objection!
Uh-huh. Oh, I forgot that's what Franziska's voice sounds like. I should also read a couple more comments in the chat because we're like 15 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. Doc says, all right, Doc is running off for tonight. Have fun without me. Arrest the suspect's memory loss, all the K's. Many such things. Goodbye. Good night, Doc. See you later. You're awesome. It's so good that we've been able to see you the past couple of streams here, Doc. Have a good night. Sleep well. Oak said, Gumshoe. It looks mighty hot in that coat of yours. Why don't you take it off? Oak, stop trying to get all of the characters naked. Oak says, goodbye, Doc. Hang on, I gotta breathe for a second. Once again, I've been talking way too much. Let's see. Oak says, let a gal finish. Lot of heart. Nora said, ooh, she's defo nice to Truce. Magpie says, I do think Franziska is nice to Trucy. I think Trucy calls her auntie and Franziska dotes. I love that. I love the idea of someone who's like really tough and mean, but has a soft spot for just like one or two characters, especially if they're like kids, you know? Quiggity said, well, if we take Phoenix to be Miles's husband, then that'd mean that Franziska would be Trucy's aunt. So yeah, she's a total spoil sugar aunt to Trucy. Nora says to Oak, a little emote. Quiggity said, actually, hold up. I'm gonna BRB, go follow the Yangtze River Players Law. Lurk, thank you for the lurk. Receiving to get back, Queen Katie. Let me check out the YouTube chat for a couple of comments here. Toshi says, Lang stopped her whip. Okay, that's who it was. I knew somebody did, but I couldn't remember who. So Lang did it. Opinion said, Franziska and Lotta had a hate-fueled makeout session that was really bad because they both bad kissers. And they silently agreed to never mention it to anybody ever. I like your headcanons. Toshi says Edgeworth should be banned from writing fan fiction. Probably. He probably uses a lot of really flowery words that just sound cringe.
Yes, hiding someplace. And if you've seen the storeroom yourself, you'll know that there are plenty of other places to hide too.
So, you're saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival?
I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded. After all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely have needed to be present throughout the proceedings.
She thinks it happened afterward. Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Franziska? Okay, so that's going to be important. This is a long one. Let me have a sip of water.
I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded.
Hold it! After the auction had ended, you say? And you're sure of that?
If the victim was the auctioneer, I don't see how else it could have happened, do you? Have you ever tried to be an auctioneer? They speak very quickly. They're like, the $5 here, $5 there, $10 there, $10 over there. Do I have 20? Do I have $20? I can't even do it. I'm tripping over my own words. I mean, she's right. You can't have an auction without an auctioneer.
No, you can't. That's why eBay does not exist. Can you? Well, there's also silent auctions. Why does that suddenly feel significant?
They then stab the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum.
Hold it! How do you know that the candelabrum was one of the auction's lots? I mean, we know. We should just share it with her.
Because if the murder weapon had been deliberately prepared beforehand, it seems highly unlikely that the killer would have chosen such an unusual object.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Furthermore, based on the culprit's movements, the candelabrum could have only come from the storeroom. We did find evidence that showed where it was standing, I guess.
Exactly. Therefore, it could only have been something that was up for sale. I do like it in these games when the rival characters are smart and can figure out stuff that's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I like that.
Not that the issue of where the killer obtains a weapon is really the point here.
It's a reasonably coherent explanation of events on the surface, but something's off. I need to see if I can tease a little more out of her. Time to tease my emoto. All right, we'll save before we present here, because obviously this is going to be what we present evidence to. I just don't know what evidence we are going to present. I hope Queen Katie is on hand with her potato guide just in case I need it. Oak says, "I'd quote, show me your younger stepsister's hole." Nora said, "Pardon me, what did I just hear?" Oak said, "No, Logan never gonna live that down." That's what Emma asked for. Clam says, "Nope, that sentence seems perfectly innocent, much like the time he helped his stepsister get unstuck from the dryer." Wait, was it a dryer? I thought it was a ladder. I can't even remember. Nora says, "More of a friend of mine, but Oak is also a follower." Yeah, Clam said, "Just a wholesome sentence to go along with the wholesome scenarios." Kuketa says, "Unlurk." Okay, I'm back. The Yangtze River streamers were very chill. I should wreck them to Vero sometime. Nice. Nora said, "You heard it here, folks. Logan thinks it's wrong for a woman to wear a man's coat." I said it's okay, but it is just, it's uncommon enough to look into. Queen Katie says, "I have the guide." Just yell potato whenever, especially since this is the last testimony in this guide page. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's see what we have. We're obviously going to present evidence here. So we have to show something that shows that the murder took place during the auction rather than after it. So what do we got? The Jammin' Ninja mask. That's probably going to have the voice changer in there. The pin, the letter, the ticket stub, the flower, the big building pamphlet. Kay's recollections. Remember seeing a person covered beyond the concession stand. Candelabrum, 3-arm candle holder. May have been the murder weapon, judging by the wounds to the victim's chest. Key card that grants entry to the committee chamber found in the victim's hand. Initial findings of Dr. Hertz: cause of death, stab wound to the chest, head injury sustained post-mortem. Key card record. Victim's letter. Broken plush animal. The stuffed animal originally found in the Zengfa presidential plane, missing its left horn. I can't wait till we find out how that's important. A selection of various masks was kept on a rack. Each participant in the auction wore one. Ringleader's appearance. Ringleader wore a white jacket, white gloves, magenta flower, and a mask. Age and gender could not be discerned. A photograph of the mysterious figure in the red raincoat. Ms. Hart's statement. Ms. Hart, observations about what happened during the mysterious auction. Let's review these. Illicit auction held in the Big building. Items on sale were mainly items of police evidence related to homicide cases. 11 attendees altogether. All were wearing masks. Oh, there we go. Okay. The auction continued after the murder occurred. All right, I thought it'd be more difficult than that. Okay, I don't feel that's not as satisfying. All right. No. Shaking my head. It seems you're one step behind yet again, Francis. To be fair, it's from Lotta Hart. We shouldn't trust her. Also, hey, crap, I can see the end of chat inside. I'm almost caught up to the Twitch chat, aren't I? Which is probably good since we're less than 10 minutes away from the 3-hour mark. How so? The auctioneer was not, in fact, the victim, and I can prove it! Let's save again. And what do we say? I fully catch up to chat. I think that'll be something fun we can all enjoy. Also, oh crap, I gotta scroll back up because I don't remember if I finished copying over all those raid suggestions from before. Let me make sure that I got all of those copied over into my raid file, or my text file here. So thank you very much for everyone who provided the raid suggestions earlier, because we will be needing to make use of these fairly soon-ish. Let's see. Nora says, enemies to lovers. How come we don't just have enemies to, like, not as bad of enemies? Why do they always gotta love? Why can they not just tolerate? Queen said, I have the guide, just yell potato whenever, especially since this is the last testimony in this guide page. Well, okay, so that means that next time it'll be smooth sailing to the end of the chapter. Nora said, I read that. Clem says, he was a little too defensive when someone brought up women wearing men's coats. Well, we've talked about it before, and I'm aware of that type of thing. I don't know, Clem, what are you saying? Do you think that I'm secretly a woman and that all of my men's coats have been a lie. Nora says, oh, I like her objection. Magpie says, Aunt Franzi. Edgeworth is probably the foremost Steel Samurai fanfic writer. Okay, here's the question. And this is a very important question about Edgeworth Steel Samurai fanfic. And there is a correct answer to this. Do you think he self-inserts in his Steel Samurai fanfic? Like he self-inserts himself as like the Crimson Samurai or something like that, who is secretly like half demon as well, and also a really handsome prosecutor on the side, and that everybody really loves and saves the day when the Steel Samurai can't do everything?
I gave you a man's coat, thinking it was normal. I would hate to find out that man's coat meant nothing to you.
Maybe it helped me continue this charade, Clam. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. And for that coat, I still got that coat. So thank you very much, Clam. I appreciate that. Quicky said, oh yeah, knocks on wood in case. No lag in the stream for me. Awesome! So I guess it was just Nora's stream. Clam says to Magpie, it is all self-insert fan fiction. There we go. Clam knows what's what. Clam says, no. Everyone start talking. Quicky says, yep. Nora said, keyboard slam. Clam says, quick, say something interesting that sparks a conversation. Nora said, hey guys, Rightworth, am I right? Clam says, so do y'all think you'll be friendly to mutants after the wars to come? I'm sure some of them won't try to eat you. Some of them will be innocent water farmers. I gotta breathe, hang on. Whew. Oh, talking for 3 hours straight takes a lot out of me. Crystal says, Rightworth wins, and then yappy yap yap. Nora says, I love Rightworth. Oh, look at that. You guys on YouTube can't see it, but there's like 2 or 3 comments is all, and then I'll be fully caught up. Nora says, I love Rightworth. Oak says, I'm back. Everyone was busy naming all the people my photo app recognized. Nora said, Rightworth, am I right? Oh, sorry. It's like skipping around back and forth because I'm at the bottom of it there. Nora says, Rightworth, am I right? Yep, about this. Magpie says, people are just mean to self-insert writers. I don't write them myself. I just make background OCs mostly. I think there's nothing wrong with it if people are just doing it for themselves. When they try and like publish it though, I think they should be like just open about the fact that, yeah, it's self-indulgent, you know? Let's see, Clam says, Rightworth is a heck of a chum. Nora said, Rightworth, wah, no! Clam says, I usually cosplay as the OC based off myself in my self-insert Naruto fanfiction. Nora says, no, catch up, there we go! 2 hours, 57 minutes and 10 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night. Yeah, and I did it before the 3-hour mark. Oh, Crystal's over on YouTube. Say, oh, post in the link tree. Yes, I should probably give the rundown on all these things for any lurkers out there. Lurkers, if you're still there, and I hope you're still there, let me give you all the information on the channel here. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, currently alternating between this game, Ace Attorney Investigation 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, and Metaphor Refantasio. However, the next 2 days are going to be different because Sunday is going to be canceled because that's Mother's Day. And so instead, we're adding an extra bonus stream tomorrow, which is going to be a chained together stream, just like for funsies. So come and check that out at the usual time right here. I'll post a reminder about that on Discord. I believe Crystal posted the link tree as well, and cross posted over to YouTube. So that link tree contains all of our social media. It has my Discord invite link, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all of those things. So feel free to make use of them as you see fit. Also, I should probably turn off slow mode on Twitch since I finally caught up to chat. Let me do that real quick. Hang on. There we go. Oak says, I know we probably aren't ending yet, but I'll send that when Longa catches up. Magpie says, I can prove you wrong. Go ahead and check out my AO3, same username. Oh. Quicky said, thank you for the very, caught stream. Clam says, lol. Nora says, oh my gosh, do we get to raid Nat? I'm picking out one of them. Here, I'm picking out this one here, which has the fewest number of viewers, and is currently playing what I would call AI the Somnium Files, but apparently Nintendo says I the Somnium Files. And they're currently speaking with a very well-endowed receptionist woman from the looks of things. Crystal said, thank you for the Lotta contradiction stream. It should be the Yuri on medicine stream from what Opinion was saying earlier. Quick said, see you next time for whatever we have tomorrow. Have you guys seen Chain Together? You guys got to check it out. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, a warning, though, for tomorrow's stream. Because it's going to be a co-stream, I will not be able to read every comment in chat like I usually do. It's going to be eating me up on side, but I'll still try to, like, read some chat and be aware of what's going on and respond to chat. So I apologize in advance, but I would still love to have you guys there to hang out because I'm going to miss you otherwise. Magpie says, good night, Logan. Oak said, thank you for the very mean to Gumshoe stream. Made me smile. Clam said, if I find uncomfortable PG-13 or greater scenarios in your AO3, I'm bailing immediately, Magpie. Nora said, do we get to raid my goat bestie, Nat? Quikita said, AI Files 2. Oh, Vero's missing out. Chris said, bonkers receptionist. Quikita said, I miss Vero. I do too. Oak said, a very well-endowed receptionist. Nora said, oh, never mind. Quikita said, like, how are they missing this? Nora said, well, I'm gonna go to Nat after the stream. There's the raid message. So let's go ahead and populate the raid. There it is. And thank you, Crystal. I will copy down the raid message as well. I probably should have had the raid populating before while I was talking, but I was enjoying the moment of chatting with all of y'all.
We were torn apart at birth.
Oh, I tried clicking over the thing and it was unmuted for some reason. But yeah, because Nora, that was a commercial there. But yeah, Nora, we do have your friend Nat, but this other person has fewer viewers had. I don't know if it's changed. Yeah, so we always gotta favor people with that the raid will help the most. Actually, yeah, hopefully we'll have enough people for a raid. Magpie says, I have a single one mature fic and it's very skippable. Just ignore that one and enjoy the others, I guess. Oh, Clam's gonna be like attracted to that like a magnet and then be traumatized by the maturity. Because I assume by mature, you're talking about doing adult situations like filing taxes and doing spring cleaning and other things that mature adults do. But yes, thank you all again so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you. I love you all. I said it earlier, but you guys are amazing. And please do come to the Chain Together stream tomorrow. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I hope I'll see you guys there. I'll miss you otherwise. If you can't be there, though, I totally understand. Oak said goodnight, everyone. Love y'all. Quicket says goodnight, y'all. Oak said Magpie, how dare you write taxpayer smut? I know it's smutty taxpayer, smutty taxes. Anyway, like I said, I love you all. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. Enjoy the raid. See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye. 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 And for those watching the VOD or over on YouTube, or if you got left behind in the raid, because that does happen on occasion, good night as well.